Yo, like, subscribe, follow, download. Giddy up.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they did it! They did it!
Left, beat left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah! What the fuck are you talking about?
Folks, Bob Mannery here, and you're listening to Agree to Disagree, the flagship, only on A2D Radio. Uncle Sweeps, Nick DelGozzo, the legendary Brian Wilson, and the fucking man himself, Tom Arnone. These three guys from Jersey bringing you real talk with no agenda. You don't like them? Tough shit. It's their show, and they're going to say whatever the hell they goddamn want.
Let's go. Welcome in, everybody. This is Agree to Disagree, only on A2D Radio. Every Sunday, we are brought to you by our doc. Got to make him yours. Dr. Paul Videl, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com, and find them here tonight at 8 o'clock. We'll be talking about the bone bruise. Bone bruise heard around the world. We will be talking about 8 o'clock tonight. We got a jam-packed show in store for you. Tom Arnone, Nick DelGozzo, Brian Wilson, Greg MIlakovic. You already heard Bob Mannery say our names. I'll say it again. We'll do Crumb of the Week later on the show. Bracket. We'll give her a little reactions to it. Field is 68. It's weird just saying that, too. I mean, you're saying 64, and now you're saying 68. I mean, I know it's been 68 now, what, 2-3 years? 2 years?
10 maybe?
See, it doesn't feel real.
It's been a while.
2, 3, 10, same thing.
All the same. Doesn't feel real. Still doesn't feel real.
I know. Yeah, I never say it. I mean, yeah.
I know that they like to say they're not playing games.
Yeah, you're just
like
the truth.
They say those four like actual games. I consider them playing games. Games.
Yeah, Tommy's just reporting the truth, but I don't count it. It's 64 to me, and it always will be 64. Even like I said, even when Q's gets in, as the 66th, I'm like, I mean, I go nuts, but
not really in though. We're in.
Yeah. You know, win that second game.
Yeah. Joel Embiid injury with the doc. We'll talk about Ben Simmons. Can he carry this team with the absence of Embiid, right? And we'll give live reactions. Sixers, Spurs. So starting right at tip-off here. And we'll sort of get her a little taste of that tonight on how well this team can play without him. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy, but can you stay afloat? Can you stay afloat, per se, right? Can you go 6-2 in your next 8?
Doggy paddle, Tommy. Doggy paddle, buddy.
Yeah, just keep it going. Keep it moving. I've been playing good basketball. Everything ties into our poll question. Brought to you by bodycheckwellness.com. And you can use promo code A2D for 20% off. That's bodycheckwellness.com. Promo code A2D, 20% off. Our poll question, the Sixers will hold on to first place during Embiid's absence. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, so you can find us live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Like, subscribe, follow, download, join the conversation, comment in, give us your reactions tonight. A Spurs team we should beat, right? It's the NBA, but we should beat them, and we're at home. And we played extremely well at home. So we're going to find out a little bit tonight on if Ben Simmons 40 burger, last time without Joel, it was just a little flash in the pan, or is it a guy who can maybe not give you, he's not going to give you a 40 every night, but can he give you 20 plus every time Joel's out? Because that's what we're going to need for this poll question to hold true. I agreed with it yesterday. I agree with it again today. I think we can, tread water, doggy paddle, as Sweeps like to say, for the time being, do an 8-game stretch. Now, I think he's going to be out longer than 2 weeks because he's reevaluated after 2 weeks. So he's probably going to be 3 weeks. So if you can be 6-2 throughout that 2-week process, then we'll gauge it from there on out. But then you're already in a good spot, right? Then you're already in a good spot. Like the Nets are going to lose games, and we're going to lose games. I don't expect that. I mean, maybe the Nets don't stop winning. And if they don't, fine. Then be a 2 seed. And you don't have to see them in the Eastern Conference Final then. Easy done. It's simple as that, right? Then don't drop lower than 2. If they're just not going to stop losing, not going to stop winning, right? Then just don't drop lower than 2. So even at 6-2 through 8, you're not going to drop lower than 2. unless Milwaukee. And I mean, I don't know because Miami's unconscious. Milwaukee's playing great basketball. All these teams, including ourselves, are playing great basketball. But the biggest thing is through this whole time of all them playing good basketball, we've been 8-2 in our last 10.
Yeah.
Right. So we play great basketball, and we've had some adversity too. So through all that, we've been able to be in first. So I'll say, you know what? That's going to hold true. That's going to hold true. And Seth hitting a good little jumper right there. That's what you're going to need. You're going to need these other guys. Like Seth Curry, he's got to average 15 plus with Joel absent. You know, it's going to have other guys can step up and they got to score. So I'll agree to the poll. I'll hold true. Listen, wherever you're watching us at, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow, hit that share button, pound it. Let's go. Pound it if the Sixers are going to hold on the first, and pound it if you believe Ben Simmons can carry the load a little bit with Tobias through this stretch without the MVP of the league. As of right now,
I feel like everything mentioned the Nets, like this little piece of fucking Will's dies inside. You know what I mean? Like every time like somebody mentions the Nets, I immediately think Wilson like just got stabbed a little bit, like just a little like with a little X-Acto knife. Nothing like nothing life threatening. You know what I mean?
They can keep winning regular season games. Nobody gives a fuck. They'll lose in the playoffs.
I agree with you there. But I'd like to not worry about having to see them until the finals.
The finals.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Attaboy Danny. All right, early offense.
Danny against a former team.
Early offers from Danny and Seth. That's what you're going to need. So yeah, I'll agree to the poll. I think they can tread that water. I think they can hold on to it. They've held on to it this long. And again, all three of them teams have played extremely good basketball over their last 10. So looking at that and looking at us being in first place as of right now, yeah, we're going to hold on to it. But that process starts tonight, right? I mean, you got to go 6-2. You got to win games like this at home against a team you're better than. Even without Joel Embiid, you're better than. So, here it starts. What do you guys say? Family out there, join us. What do you guys say to the poll question?
Us? Look at Tommy.
I said you guys and the fam.
I would disagree. I mean, just cause it's all bunched up. I mean, it's a half a game and 2 game lead on the Bucks. I mean, once again, a lot of times when I say things, I'm tickled pink to be wrong. I don't give a shit. Like other people like to go on things and they want to be right. I don't care. I don't care. I do this for entertainment. I have a good time. And I mean, so when I say I disagree because it's really tight and Joe's been a monster for us, but as a team, we're a good basketball team. You know what I mean? But it's tough. It's gonna be tough sledding. Without the big fella. And like you said, we don't know how long that's going to be. I understand it's a bone bruise and stuff like that, but if we're just the end game is the most important thing for us. You know what I mean? So, do I want us to hang on to 1? Sure, that'd be nice. But if we, fell to the 4 and it helped and he rested more and, we weren't getting blown out and we weren't playing terrible. We were just getting, we were losing some tough games or something and we slipped a couple, a couple seeds, listen, that wouldn't be the end of the world for me. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it's getting the Eastern Conference Finals and trying to get to the finals, you know what I mean? And having a special year. And he's a huge part of that. We know that. So, for those reasons, I will disagree. And that's not a shot at, Doc or anybody else. I mean, like I said, I love this basketball team, but, it's just with those other 2 teams bunched up and healthier right now, it'd be tough sledding for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just looked over that 8, right? That there's 3 tough West Coast teams, obviously.
West Coast trip, yeah.
That's where I was. Yeah,
you're gonna have Warriors, Clippers, Lakers. I mean, Warriors, Lakers, Clippers. Sorry, in that order. So
and Denver,
But I'm talking about the 2 weeks, right? The 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Air quote.
Oh,
right?
is Denver right outside of that 2 weeks?
It's that Tuesday, so it's after.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll just say in that 2 week window of that 8 games, they're tough ones right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you got to take care of all these ones at home, and that could get you the on an automatic 5-3, right? If you play lights out at home. So, and you have really winnable games at home, outside of the Milwaukee game's obviously a tough one, right? A Milwaukee game at home is a tough game. So that's going to tell you something right there on what they can do without him if they can win a game like that. So I think you're going to, we're going to find out through that 8, but you have the chance to go 2. because you played you played the Knicks twice.
Mm-hmm.
You play Milwaukee once. You got the Spurs tonight. There's another game at
Sacramento
at home.
at home though.
Yeah, and then you go west. Then you go west.
Go west,
Go
young
West, young
man.
man.
I mean, you can pretty much consider that he's not going to play in any of those West Coast games.
Yeah, steal one of them West Coast games. Like, and I say steal, like, what you could probably steal the Warriors game, right? Or can you maybe steal that Lakers game if there's still no AD, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, them two games, the Clippers game, I almost gave an automatic L just because I don't, I just can't. I would have to see how we're playing without them by then, right? But the other two are winnable games. I mean, more so the Warriors and the Lakers, in my opinion. But it starts like a game like tonight. You got to win a game like tonight, and tonight's a good example. Danny came out hot so far, hit 2 3 balls, right?
Four or three, I think.
So you're seeing him come out hot. So that's a good sign of other guys already. Hey,
Taking that burden.
Yeah, taking that burden away.
4 for 4 with 3 triples.
4 for 4. Is that what he is?
Yeah, 4 for 4 with 3 triples. I mean,
Have a day.
Yeah.
I was staring at you guys, so I saw two. I only saw 2 of them.
Is that Denver game on the road?
Yes.
So he's not going to play in that either, because he's not going to just show up on the West Coast.
No,
trip.
that's what
We know
I said. Yeah, so he's out. He's out there.
And in reality, but it's the end of that road trip. Cleveland knows is April 1st too, which is that Thursday.
He ain't gonna play in that either.
So to your point, you're probably looking at April 3rd, Minnesota at home.
I doubt it's that too, but I would hopefully, fingers crossed.
That's a back-to-back. So that's Minnesota, Memphis at home back-to-back.
To me, it's more of closer to a month than 2 weeks, I think. But like I'm with Sweeps on this. I don't care how long it takes. I just want him back 100%. I don't want to rush him back. Wait till he's 100%. I don't care if we drop to 2nd or 3rd, even 4th. I don't care. Get him 100% back and then get him back into the fold. So I'm not like trying to rush him. I'm not like, it's got to be 2 weeks. I don't care about that. I'd say we probably won't hold on to first just because we're probably gonna lose some West Coast games, and we'll probably lose one at home that we shouldn't while he's out. So I'll say that we don't, but we could, and I'd love to. But I'll say that we won't. I'll just disagree for the sake of the poll. But I mean, I love the hole in the first. And if one thing, at least it gives us a chance for some of my other guys to show, to build some confidence offensively. Because that Joe's going to come back and it's going to be our dominant offensive piece again. But hopefully some of these other guys now for this next 2-3 weeks has a chance to get some confidence, moving into the playoffs. Because we're going to need them to score right now. So I think they're going to be fine. I just think that, thank God, it wasn't something more serious. Because if he was out for the year, our season's probably over. So thank God for that. And I'm looking forward to him to get back. I think it's probably going to be more like 3-4 weeks than 2. But I'll say that we probably don't hold first. But again, I don't care.
Well, how far do you think they would drop?
I don't think we're going to drop past 3rd. If we dropped to 3rd, I wouldn't think we dropped any farther.
Yeah, because at 4, we got a 6-game lead on the Heat. I mean, obviously, like Tommy alluded to, last 10, all four of us were playing lights out, 8-2, 9-1 basketball. But we got a 6-game lead. I mean, if we lose this, 6-game lead, we
might have some problems.
We got bigger issues than Joel.
Yeah, you drop that far, you got a fucking hole in the Titanic. You didn't see the 3 fucking icebergs. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't see the 3.
It wasn't one compartment. There's 18 filling, and we're sinking. Yeah.
Hold on to Jack. Where's Jack at?
Well, she won't let him on the fucking door. No one talks about the fact that she's a dirty bitch. We're just let this dude fucking drown. Hold on, Jack. He's in the water. He's drowning. Get him on the door. The door's humongous. 3 times your size.
It's minus 20. I mean, the guy's fucking hang on. Guy's fucking dick is frozen off.
What a greedy bitch. And then she drops $7 million in the ocean at the end. Greedy bitch.
She knew his dick froze off, so that's why she was like, I'll see you, Jack. Gotta let go.
If she had some dignity, she would have died on that fucking thing with him. She wouldn't have blown the whistle. Let him go. Die with him.
To the poll, I'll disagree as well. However, I agree with with the other two guys that we won't fall too far. I think if obviously to agree, I think the bench has to continue to play like it did last night or the other night, right? Where the bench is huge in Joel's absence. Yeah, you're correct. Tobias and Ben also obviously have to be huge. But inside of that, kind of to John's point a couple comments ago, inside this 2 weeks is the trade deadline. So we all think he's going to be back. He's going to be fine. I'm not saying we're trading for a guy to pair with Joel, but does that change Morey's mindset as opposed to just going for like a bench piece type of person? Or does that trigger him to go after a bigger type of fish in that trade leading up to the trade deadline?
Almost like a panic move.
Right. Like if you were going for, for example, if you're going for PJ Tucker and Terrence Ross, do you then turn and go for Kyle Lowry, Zach LaVine, a little bigger types of deals?
No, unless they start losing games like tonight. If they lose game like tonight, and they lose another one, and they start coughing up games they should be winning. Then maybe he gets into a panic mode without Joel, right? Yeah. Okay, but I don't think it changes his direction unless they get bad news about Joel or unless they just spiral real quick. Like, you know what I mean? They got to lose like 4 or 5 in a row. Maybe he gets into some panic mode. That's how I look at that.
I think if leading up to that West Coast trip, if your only loss, quote unquote, be Milwaukee, right? If you could pencil that in as your only loss, granted, I know it's the NBA and we probably lose one of those Knicks games. But if you could pencil in that only loss to be Milwaukee, I think you do tread water and you don't fall, to 4. You maybe only fall to 2, 3 at the most.
Yeah.
I think that we can hold 2. I mean, chances are the Nets are probably going to pass us here, especially because they're about to get Durant back. So, I would expect them to not lose many games here. And, it's a good chance that they'll jump us because we're only a half game up. But there's a good chance we can hold the second spot, being 2 full up on Milwaukee. And if we don't, we're definitely going to hold the third spot. There's no way we're going to drop. We'd have to drop like 8 of 9, and they'd have to go on a winning streak to pass for the Heat to pass us, and that's not going to happen.
No, and with the Nets, I mean, they're getting Durant back, and obviously it's not a problem, right? But it's something they can't play better basketball than they have. You know what I mean? Like it was hard to. Like it's like they're not losing. So it's like, how much better can you play? I guess there's room for improvement. Sure, coach speak. There's room for improvement here. I mean, I don't know how much better they can play. Hey, Dwight, what a boy. Let's go.
9-1 without him. So I mean, I guess if he comes back, they would be 10-0.
Yeah, there's the improvement. There's the one. There's the one. But I think the one thing it does, it opens up for guys to.
I hope James Harden gets hit by a bus. And then the bus is like, what just happened? And backs up over top of him and then goes over him again.
The bus driver thought he forgot somebody.
Shit, what was that? Anybody that lived in Mount April knows something like that happened in front of Giuseppe's one time. That's all I'm saying. Where's she at? Let's get her to drive the bus. Where'd that bitch go?
Oh, God. Did I forget to pick somebody up? Oh, reverse.
Speed bump. I hate him so much. I really do. I didn't think I could hate a team. I didn't think I could hate a team worse than like some of the old teams. I really hated the old Knicks teams back in the 90s, but I despise this Nets team. There is not a team I don't think I could think back to a team I've hated worse than this Nets team. I used to hate Boston really bad. Not so much anymore. They're not as good. The Nets team. I hate them.
Like that makes it fun again. No,
I totally agree. I can't wait for them to lose.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna pop champagne like the '72 Dolphins when they lose in the playoffs.
I just can't wait to play them. I can't wait to play them and beat them. Right? I can't wait to play them and beat them at some point. in the regular season. Period. Like
I just want them to lose a game that they shouldn't lose and see them guys start bickering with each other, and it's like, yes, it's starting. It's starting.
Yeah, so I mean I guess I'm standing on an island here. I'm standing on a hill all by myself.
What?
Agree to the poll because you guys all.
Well, yeah, I would. Nobody expects you to.
I mean, you had us losing the last 2 games, and now you got us holding first in the West.
Nobody expects you to. Nobody expects you to leave that hill.
Playing some pong.
Nobody expects you to leave that hill. Your Philadelphia Boxers, I mean, those things will be shredded in a goddamn fucking forest fire. That'd be the only thing left. Your fucking Philadelphia Boxers, buddy. You know?
He's had them on for years.
A forest fire when you're already.
They've already replaced the bottoms of them boxes.
I'm just giving you.
Hey, I mean, it's tough to stand on a hill when the team's in first. You know what I mean? That smells like homerism.
No, I didn't accuse you of that. I mean, in essence, 50-50 I accused you of that. But I mean, we got the first. We got the first because he's the best player in the league right now this season. So, I mean, that's why there's a debate. Not like,
well, yeah,
not two of our bench guys are out. We're having COVID issues. I mean, we're talking about the arguably the best player in the NBA this season. People can, hate and not, give him that title because they hate Philly or whatever. But he has been. So, I mean, and there's a lot of good players. So, to whatever your taste is, to whatever your flavor is, you can choose whoever you want. All right. We're not choosing him because he's our guy. Just use your eyeballs. All right. The guy's fucking dominant. Dominant. All right, and our only issue with him and me and Wills is, and I mean, sure, other people too, but it's me and Wills especially is to stay healthy. And here we go again talking about it. All right, we don't want to talk about it. Not like he was out fucking dicking around and he got hurt, but it's just it follows this dude around. All right, so that's why we pray, we cross our fingers, and we hope. All right, and it looks like we dodged a major bullet this time. But it's every fucking year.
Yeah, it's scary, isn't it?
Every year.
Well, the devil's advocate to why I think they can hold on the first is more so that Ben had like, I granted it was a while ago, but Ben showed over a long sample size in the regular season that they can win games without him. Right now, do I expect them to win 14 in a row without him? No, you know what I mean. But can they? Can they hold on to it?
Can they go 7-3, 8-2?
Can they hold on to it?
I think so.
Maybe, and guys, listen. Maybe they have to. Maybe 7-3 isn't good enough. You know what I mean? Because maybe.
Yeah, but they wouldn't drop out. They wouldn't drop out a second at 7-3. You would think that they would still be in second.
No,
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because maybe that's not good enough because maybe the Nets don't stop, right? Yeah. So in terms of that, maybe it's not. Just in terms of like, okay, we've seen him be able to get everybody involved and win games without him in the regular season. Now, do I think this team has a legit shot in the postseason without Joel Embiid? Absolutely not. Did they have a legit shot if he was out 2 months? Then I'd really be concerned, right? Over like 3 weeks, can they hang in there? Yeah, I think we all think they can hang in there. Do I think they can hold on the first over 3 weeks? I think they could, right? I think they could. We've seen Ben play at a high level without him before, and that's what you're going to need. And I think this roster's better than the roster he won 17 in a row with back a few years back, right?
Agreed. Absolutely agree. Yes.
We would say this roster's better now. You win 17 in a row. No. But can you have a 9-1 stretch without Joe? That's a lot to ask because, like Sweep said, that's my favorite player. I mean, Joel Embiid's my son, so I know how great he's been to this team. All you got to do is just turn the game on. I was arguing with a guy yesterday when I did a show by myself, trying to tell me he wasn't the best player in the league. I said, just turn a fucking game on one time. Just watch him. Just watch it. Just watch him, please. Because if you're not watching him, you don't have a clue. You can tell me Joker. You can tell me all these other guys. I don't give a shit. Because you're not turning him on if you don't think he's the best player in the league. You
can make the argument. Like, I'm not going to argue with guys who might be from different part of the country that are going to say that their guy's the best. That's fine. But you can definitely argue that Joel's the best. And currently, before the injury, the odds-on favorite to win MVP, which means right now he is the MVP.
Yeah, no, absolutely, buddy. And then there's, we talked about there's a tons. Listen, there's a handful of guys that are absolutely incredible, and then and cogs to and keys to for their respective teams. You know what I mean? Like he's ours. All right. So every team has every team, at least every good team has that guy. You know what I mean? Like we've never, at least I haven't. And like I said, this year was the first year that I put him by Joker, but I didn't want to disrespect Joker, and Joker might have heard me because he's playing out of his fucking mind. And I wasn't disrespecting him. I was just saying, hey, this year Joe went by you. Right? Didn't mean that you were standing still. It just meant Joel was running faster. You know what I mean?
Joel turned it on.
Joker's got about 35 double doubles. I mean, he leads the league, and so Joker's fantastic. I mean, like I said, and LeBron's 100, and he's, we know what he brings to the league. You know what I mean? So like, there's
Kawhi,
Bellingham, Kawhi,
Giannis. Yeah, there's other guys that are great, but I would put Embiid against any of them right now.
Yep.
Right.
That's what we watch this year. Berkey, a 3-ball, 33-22 Sixers now. Everybody.
You also have to factor in team success too, right? The Jazz or the Nuggets, I'm sorry, for the most part have underachieved. And yeah, Joker's having a monster year, but you have to factor in that the Sixers were the best in the East when not necessarily expected to right away. You know what I mean? Everyone expected with the new head coach, new coaching staff, a lot of new pieces that at the end of the year or towards the second half of the year, they might get there. They've jumped out and they never look back. And all that is because Joel Embiid took a giant 7-2 leap forward this year in his own personal game.
Completely true. And that's what makes him the MVP as of right now.
I don't even know how much of a leap forward he took. I just think that he's finally taking advantage of his opportunities. He's not settling for threes constantly. He's shooting the 3-ball at a great rate, but he's not settling for him. He's down low and he's dominating, which we've been saying for years. If he was down low, he'd be dominating it. I mean, he's finally fucking doing it.
He's closed games out. Like the way he's closed games out and their record, right? That dictates a lot to me, right? Maybe he was a little bit of a turnover machine at times late in games in years past, right? I think we can all agree on that. He's really cleaned his
I don't
edge.
even know if it was a little bit. It might have been a lot of it.
I was being generous right there. It's my kid. We tread lightly. But no, I mean, for real. I mean, you could make a case he was a turnover machine late in games, right? Not anymore.
Big games.
Yeah. And now he's dominant. And now he's flat out dominant late in games. And they're winning basketball games. And they're first in their conference. So all them things tie in. And then obviously just his numbers alone, right? Mm-hmm. Numbers can be hollow at times. None of them numbers are fucking hollow. And not saying the other guy's numbers are hollow.
Yeah.
His numbers are
he's not like Zach LaVine, who's got hollow numbers everywhere. He's got legit numbers. I'll tell you what, watching Chicago play, I don't even want to trade for Zach LaVine. I know there's a lot of guys on the Zach LaVine bus that want him here. I don't know. To me, he's not a game changer, and to trade a ton for him, you need him to be a game changer. That's why I would never do it. He's a guy that doesn't jump off the page to me.
No, me either.
I mean he's got hell of a hops. He can really jump, but he don't jump off the page when I watch him play basketball.
He's got great. He's a talented player, but like the other night, we're playing without Joe and Ben, and it's in Chicago.
He's doing nothing.
Yeah, and you got 19 in that game. I mean, I hear you when Ben locked you up, slowed you down a little bit. There ain't nobody there to lock you up. I mean, that's a game you go off for 35, say bye, get out of my house. You know what I mean? Get out of my house with this shit. Right? So, that's my issue with him is like the wins, losses, hollow stats. Like, I don't know. I don't watch every Bulls game. Yeah. It feels like every time I do watch them, they're either losing, right?
Yep.
And it's been, it's not all on him, obviously, but when you're the star there, right? I need you to put some wins together.
Yeah. If you want to be a star, you got to give me a star effort. To me, Tommy, it's very simple to me. It's like I try to tell some of these guys that they love to throw these trades out there. And I love all these guys, these trade guys. Oh, we got trades. Like these shitty teams in the NBA, they all score 110 points a game. So they're like, he's averaging 23. Someone's got to score for these shitty teams, okay? Yeah. They're gonna have guys that are putting up points. Now, if you took that guy and put him on a good team, maybe he's a 12-point-a-game scorer instead of a 22 because you're not going to have as many opportunities. Someone's got to score points on those teams. That's why there's a lot of hollow stats on shitty teams. You got to be careful about that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're up 13 right now, so it's a good start. Good start. Only a quarter and a couple pennies in. Okay, but good start. The without Joel Embiid era for a little bit here. Because again, you cough up games like tonight, then you get in the panic mode, Greg.
Yep.
You were saying, and then maybe
Absolutely.
not tonight, just alone, but you cough up games like tonight. You don't go 8-2. You go 2-8, right? Then it's a whole different conversation on what they're doing before the deadline, maybe.
Yeah, because
could be panic.
God,
Scott, what a beehive, hive throwdown. Watch yourselves, guys. They're going to be coming out.
No, because you're right, Tom. If you can't win a game like this, then you look at those next 5 games before the 4 games before you hit the West Coast, and you go in your mind and you're like, all right, well, if I can't beat the Spurs at home, how can I necessarily pencil in beating the Knicks in, back-to-back or a home and home, whatever that, you know what I mean? And the Kings at home. Right. And of course the Bucks. Right. So you're right, though. How do you mentally as a GM, if you can't beat the Spurs, not potentially go there in your head?
No, you're right. Matisse with a nice block right there.
I would love to see, speaking of Matisse, I would love to see him continue to take that step forward on the offensive end, with this potentially extended minutes.
He's shown a pulse the last few games. We'll see if that continues. Ben hasn't really, obviously he's not in right now, but wasn't aggressive early on with fans in the house. So that's fun. You know what I mean? He throws 3,200 people in there. Guy goes away real quick. You know what I mean? There's 3,200 fucking people. They let in the building. Guy goes away. That's why I didn't want fans back in. If you really want to know why I was standing on that hill, right? I didn't want fans back in. He was fine. Let it be. Let it be. Oh, my God. Does he even have a shot? Let me look. Does he even have a shot? An attempt? Oh, he's 0 for 2. He's 0 for 2. All right. At least he's attempted 2. All right. God, don't put 20. Don't put 21,000 in there. Gotta be a disappearing act.
So dumb.
Disappearing act. Well, so what? I see you're upset down there. You can't joke about your son?
I'm not even talking to you. I'm looking at the TV over here.
You're not talking on the show.
You're talking about like fucking fans and your propaganda shit. I don't really care about.
Talking about fans and Ben struggling is what I was talking about.
He hasn't played in a week or more. I'd expect him to struggle tonight. But we should beat this team even if he does nothing tonight. So hopefully he just gets back in the flow.
And flow.
And flow.
First guy to have time off. First guy to ever have some time off.
Yep. Keeps digging. This is like a lunchroom right here. You walked by, guy not bumped into your tray, knocked your tray over. now you're just throwing fucking gummy bears at him. You're trying to poke him. You're trying to first guy to ever have time off. Yep. Wilson's not engaged. He's not engaged right now. You're not going to be able to get him.
I'm not. I mean, listen. If I wanted to, I would just start giving him shit about how Embiid's always hurt, and we saw this coming. But I'm not going to do that. As a good friend of mine, Jason Seaberger, says, guys that get hurt always get hurt. But I mean, I'm hoping. The great news is that it looked bad.
Is that trademark?
Looked bad Friday night. I mean, I don't know how he doesn't have that trademark. He's hurt every year. That's so that gives him the trademark.
I don't think Sticks has that trademark. Thanks for the comment.
That's a Jason Edward comment, though. I'm gonna tag him and let him know that you're saying that.
You know what Einstein said? Like it was quoted by Einstein. Like I mean come on.
I just listen. If I would have said that without giving his name, he'd have been upset. That's all I know. Chances are he's probably not watching. He doesn't support Friends, but I mean, hey,
boom!
Start
getting the sniper out.
That was fantastic. That was like a glass case of emotion there.
Yeah. I build him up and then shut him down. Yeah, that's how we do it. It's like a roller coaster sweep. So we build him up and we bring him back down.
Let's go.
You totally redeemed yourself.
Keep him humble.
But listen, I think we're all happy. The one thing that we're all happy about is obviously we were a little nervous Friday night when he went down. It didn't look great. And best case scenario, I'm sure the doc is gonna echo this later. But the best case scenario, hyperextension with a bone bruise, no ligament damage at all. That's obviously the best case scenario, so we're happy about that. And hopefully he should be fine, in a few weeks.
Yeah, agreed. We'll talk to him about it more, and we'll dive into how long we think he's going to be out for, but at least 2, if not longer, maybe 3. But we'll find out. But tonight's encouraging so far. You know what I mean? You're doing what you're supposed to. You're up 7, but you're doing what you're supposed to do against a team that
we'll probably win by 4, and I'll be pissed. But yeah, I hear you.
I was gonna say, what's the line? 5?
4.5.
4.5. This is happening. Missed 2 clutch free throws that put us to 6. You know what I mean?
How about Ohio State dude shooting that shot at the end?
I know.
You don't even need to shoot it, dude. The game's over. You're down 6. You're down 6. There's 1 second left. Why even? I would shoot it too. So I'm not going to give him too much shit. But I'm on the other side here, dude. All right, we're scuffling. We're scuffling for something right there, dude. There's no reason for you to shoot that. Cocksucker. No. As soon as he stepped into it, too, I'm like, well, this is good.
Yeah.
Mark that down.
There are no rules. College sports has no rules. I mean, that's why when you're gambling, you're all over the place. I mean, you're on the right side. You're on the right side, and then this guy fucking. What are you doing, pal? All right. I mean, fucking, they're fouling down 12.
Yeah,
3
down
seconds.
12.
What? You're fouling
down 9.
12.
Down 9 fouling.
You're fouling.
Or 2 nights ago, I had the late game, and it was there's the Mountain West game, Utah State and somebody, and I'm getting 9, and they're up 8. You don't even have to shoot. The game's over. They're not even fouling you. Dude just drives in with a lamp. Why? You gotta win by 10? I fucking hate people.
Yeah.
It's because the guy was like, I know the line's 9. This is gonna piss somebody off. Here we go.
Yeah.
What up, Pop?
Pop, pop.
Pop, pop.
Pop, pop, pop.
41-36. Mike Grimm, I'd rather have a finals MVP over a regular season MVP.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, where do I buy that at?
Can I sign up? Can I sign up for a 2-fer? Can I get both?
You get that through Amazon or where?
Buy one, get one.
Where do I buy that? I mean,
is that 2-day delivery free for Prime?
Ben's first basket. Wells, nice little hook. Nice little.
I'm watching these fuckers talk about the NCAA. I'll flip that.
We're doing a live Sixers reaction show, but we're watching the NCAA on mute because you can't hear the guys even talking.
Well, I have subtitles on, Craig, because I'm not God.
You know how to read? I'm shocked you know how to read.
That's pretty clever of you, Greg. I'm smarter than you. I can guarantee it. But yes,
IQ game.
I honest with you, I don't give a fuck about the regular season NBA. I'll watch the last 8 minutes, but besides that, I don't care.
I don't disagree with you there.
The games start with about 8 minutes and 9 seconds left in the game. That's when I will start watching. I'm a little pumped. I was nervous Cuse wasn't going to get in. They got in. I'm a little pumped. Plus, I gotta make sure I get my bracket right, and I'm gonna start losing games again.
Well, it's gonna happen either way.
Well, we know that's happening.
Oh, I know that's happening, but
copy if you can.
I've been a little hot again, so it's probably ready for me to just go.
Everybody else's bracket. You know what I mean? Say, what do you think? That's
like the girls that win the fucking bracket challenge. By just like, I like this team's color. This team has a good mascot.
Yeah. And they end up winning it.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Yep.
I can't believe it was a year ago that
it's like 112.
A year ago we had no fucking tourney. Holy shit!
It's insane. Insane.
Yeah. That's why I'm so pumped, dude. It's been 2 years now since I've watched, and technically for me it's been 3 years because I usually go out and with friends and shit. But 2 years ago I was at a wedding in Savannah watching it, so I haven't done like my normal routine for 3 fucking years now.
And even this year, it's off because it's not Thursday, Friday. It's Friday, Monday.
It's a little strange. And I was nervous that we were going to play in the first 4 on Thursday, but we're not. So now I'm even more pumped. Let's go, Craig. What are you doing? Why don't you fly home for Friday, Greg? We'll get
one shining moment. One shining moment. Shit, man. One shining moment. Like that could just course through my veins. I love it so much. I love the tournament. So like when you hear it, you're like, oh, you're depressed because you're depressed.
That means it's over.
Yeah, because it's over. And then you're like, oh, I love this song. I love it.
I mean, and to anyone that doesn't watch, college basketball. Even
John,
if you're not a
thank you,
fan,
brother.
I'm sure you got to watch the tournament. It's the great, so obviously normally it's Thursday, Friday, but this year it's Friday, Saturday coming up. The two best days of the year, college basketball and all day. Thrilling finishes. It's spectacular. Gear up for it. Get some drinks. Make a couple bets. Oh, Sixers had the highest average attendance last year.
They're the biggest arena. John says,
Do they have the biggest arena?
It's a great question. Great question.
I don't know.
appreciate donation. If our starting five stays the same and both teams are healthy, give me your defensive matchups against the Nets. That's where they get tricky.
Yeah, it gets tricky, but I would assume that you were going to have.
I mean, you got to go Ben on Tarantula. I mean,
I actually think that they wouldn't. I think that they would
go
do Ben
Toby
on Harden, and Toby would cover Durant.
Toby on Durant, Ben on
Toby,
Harden.
Durant, Ben on Harden, and then you would go. When he's in the game, Matisse would try to check Kyrie, I guess.
And for the starting, I think you would probably go Danny Green on Kyrie, or you go Danny on James, Ben on Kyrie.
To me, the biggest thing is you just try to make it tough on those three guys when you're playing that team, and they have no one that can guard Joe. So you get DeAndre Jordan in foul trouble early by just feeding Joe the rock, and then you just let him dominate. That's the way to beat that team with our team. You play good defense, you make it tough on those guys, and then you let Joe dominate.
Yeah, I think they can do it a couple ways. I think Danny would have to go on Harden.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with anything you guys said. If my best defender is Ben and their best player is KD, that's my opinion. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying anybody's wrong. I just, as long as because Harden don't get to the fucking rim 56 times because he's Johnny free throw shooter. You know what I mean? Like let him clank fucking 23s because he's gonna fucking if he even if he's on, he'll go 6 for 20 from 3. I don't care. I'll take that. You're not gonna stop Durantula. I get that, but you make him uncomfortable. They're both 6'10. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's
I hear you.
That's the way I would try to start.
I just think that Harden, to use your words, I think Harden's a pig and he's gonna shoot a ton. So maybe you put Ben on him, but no, I mean, Toby's played a lot better D this year, so I'm okay with saying that he's got to cover. And I feel like, listen, it's a tough matchup for whoever Tobias is going to cover, but I feel like maybe Durant's. I just think that Harden drives more, and it might be a tougher matchup for Tobias, and it's a better matchup for Ben with he's faster. But I don't know. I mean,
you're right. He can absolutely. He can move.
I would. It probably would change throughout the game.
Probably
to
probably throw Matisse at KD a few minutes too. I'm sure as well.
Yeah, especially if someone gets in foul trouble, you're going to have to switch them around.
That's what I was just going to say. Ben moves his feet better, and then by that time, maybe you change things up. You know what I mean? You talk to people and say, listen, understand that you're a starter, but we got we're playing 3 superstars. We might not like them, and we might think one guy's a trash can. I get it. I'm not fucking but still the guy's a pure scorer. You know what I mean? So as much as we hate him and we hate Kyrie and stuff, they're decent players. So then you kind of talk to those guys and say, hey, listen, maybe Thibault has to start that series, and then you just mix and match. When they make changes, we make changes. Whatever, you know what I mean? Like
you got to worry about Joe Harris too.
If he's our second best player, and Blake Griffin, if he's healthy, is a little bit of an issue. No, I'm just saying. I mean, obviously we have Joe, but I mean,
he's a problem. No, he's a problem.
Yeah, Blake's a little more athletic if he's healthy.
I mean, they're an issue. I'm not going to run from his. I hate Harden, but I don't. But
I mean, we're going to see him probably.
KD, Kyrie,
let's put it that way.
I hate Harden, but KD and Kyrie numbers aren't. They ain't stat stuffers. I mean, I mean, I can't run from what they can do. Them two.
And I understand that Harden does a great job getting to the line, and he's a great foul shooter. And I just don't like the way he plays, and I think he's I think he actually hurts you because he plays no defense. But KD and Kyrie are as much as I don't like Kyrie as a person, Kyrie's a phenomenal player, and KD, I mean, if he's not the best player in the NBA, then I mean he's 1A. So
Scored 49, 45, Sixers. Second quarter. I don't know what the time is.
Derek White just stuffed.
440 left.
Sweeps, it's funny you went there about potentially making a change to the starting lineup because without knowing you were going there. What up, Mark? What up, Marlik?
Marlik, what up, Marlik?
I was thinking in my head, maybe that's a series you sit Seth down from the starting lineup and you start Matisse to get you a little bit more length, a little bit more defensive-minded from the jump, right? Instead of waiting for that first timeout, that 6 man to come off the bench when potentially in the playoffs, if all 3 of those guys are on, as much as we like or hate them, that game could be over already.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. This isn't like, professional, like a lot of these guys and a lot of these coaches, and they wonder why they get fired. But a lot of these coaches and a lot of these GMs will tiptoe around these egos and around these fucking prima donnas. Yeah, not your Uncle Sweeps. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I'm sitting here, doing a fucking radio show. I'm not, coaching in the NBA. I'm just saying if you want to fucking win, then you do what's best for the team. You know what I mean? You don't worry about somebody's fucking feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you come off the bench, man. That's it. We need you. This series, we're making a switch, dude. We're going up against, offensive fucking monsters right now. All right. So we need our best defensive guys. We need a yeoman's effort on the defensive end to get to the fucking finals. You want to do that? You want to get to the finals? All right. You want to fucking start? All right. Shut your fucking mouth. You know what I mean? So those conversations, and I'm not saying that there will be any pushback. All right. But that's a conversation that has to be had. And I'm sure it will be. But, we'll see. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Makes for an awkward Christmas dinner with Seth and Doc. You know what I mean?
Well, you can also just keep them starting, and then just say listen, down the stretch in the crux of the game, you're probably not going to play, unfortunately, because we're going to need Matisse in there to play defense.
No, you're right. And you just hope you're not down by 15. But
by that point,
right. Absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, there's a lot of the good thing is we are a really good defensive team, so we have guys to be able to run at them and make it hard for them, right? And that's all it is. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be times where Kyrie's is covering Kyrie, right?
Yeah.
So
it's gonna happen.
There's gonna be a bunch of different stuff, even if they went with that with their original starting 5 and figured out how to get it done that way, right? Either way, we bring size too. We're long too, so we sort of match up really well with their size per se, and their quickness is going to get you because of Kyrie. I mean, Kyrie and Harden's ability to get to the rim, but guess what? That's where Joel's so big, right? That's where Joel's presence is so important in that series because it's gonna affect that a little bit. It's gonna affect it a little bit of them getting to the rim. They're gonna get to it, but you're gonna have to get it. You're gonna have to get shots over him, and that makes life a little bit more difficult. So right there is a win for us. So
no, absolutely, and that's why we talk about. Oh, sorry. That's why we were alluding to earlier, not that we all weren't, but me and Wilson especially talking about listen, I don't really care about now. The end game is it for us. You know what I mean? Especially if we get to that matchup and he's healthy and he's who he is, right? Back to the trade that got him Harden. They lost the big fella Allen in the middle. Now it's time for JoJo to eat. You know what I mean? Let's go 42 and 20. How about an average of 42 and 20 that series from you, big fella? You know what I mean?
And we might need it. And we might need it.
Advance. We need that out of you, brother.
They might they might take a page out of the Raptors book where the Raptors are running 2-3 guys at them every time they touch the ball.
Every time, yeah.
I mean, that's literally what that series is a Joe series. We're gonna die by him because we need to dominate inside and that they have no one that can guard him. Especially, old man DeAndre Jordan will give some effort, but he should be able to get him in foul trouble quick. Yeah. And then they got nobody. So it really, I'm sure they're going to try to pick somebody up, maybe a defensive guy with size. But to me, that's a series that Joe's got to eat, and he's got to be down low, dominating. And like you said, Tom, playing great defense, protecting our basket because obviously, Kyrie and Harden like to get to the rim.
And that wasn't a cop-out for Joe in terms of getting double and triple team. That means now you got to make smart decisions like we were talking about earlier on, right, of making good looks and making good decisions when they're running 2-3 guys at you. If they do, I'm not saying they will, but I guarantee if he goes off for 40 in the first 3 games, 40, or in the first 2, maybe even the first 1, they might say, okay, we got to start running everybody at him and make somebody else beat us And listen, I think you have the capable shooters for other guys to beat you if guys are getting open looks. Like,
So you either get it and you go quick, or you find the open guy.
Yeah, I want to Death and Tobias being veterans can hit open fucking looks. I gotta believe in them guys hitting open looks. And tonight's a good little sign of these guys because both them two have stepped up tonight. Well, we're about almost a half in, so that is what it is. But they've already, showed some of their veteranness per se tonight. When you need the vets to come out and say hello, first night without them especially.
No, for sure.
Because Greg, your point, they scored 111 bench points in 2 games. Right? In the first 2 games out the break. 55, 56. I mean, that's just not realistic to continue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For anybody. I don't care who you are. Unless you're running fucking all-stars off your pine.
Like I said, listen, that's that's where we want to be. That's the matchup we want, and giddy up. So let's hope, we keep progressing there. But that's all the more reason for us to get somebody like PJ Tucker. And we were all on board. It's not like anybody wasn't. Like Tom was just saying, hey, he's getting a little older and, we don't want to give up the farm. But if we can find a way to get him for, and we're not, and we're adding them and we're not subtracting too much, because we don't care about picks, something like that. Because, that toughness for that Nets series, plus it gives you 6 extra fouls. All right? Him and Dwight have to use all fucking 12 fouls that fucking, every game. You know what I mean? They got to use all 12 fouls, and they got to fucking put these guys. It's got to be old school 1980s basketball, right? Where fucking Mahorn and Lambeer and get on the fucking floor, and Durant and Harden and Kyrie picking themselves off the fucking floor every fucking play.
Yeah,
right? You don't have to be flagrant.
Unfortunately, they don't allow you to do that anymore. But I'm with you.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying flagrant. I'm just saying, let's go pick them up off the floor, and I'm going to use all 12 right out of those 2 guys, and another 4 out of Joe. Keep it shit. Not 5, Joe. Just 4, Joe. So 16 fouls.
Boy, I'm up and away.
16.
How about him catch him from behind right there? I tell you, when Ben wants to, I feel like he's so fucking fast.
Oh, so fast. 56, 48.
What up, brother Contreras?
Listen, I think it's going like I think people would expect against the Spurs, right? I mean, you're up 8, so I mean, I think that's where we would think this game should be around. About you should be able to win this game by double digits around there, but just you should be able to win it. I don't care how much.
Yeah, just win the game. Preferably by 5.
Yeah, cover the spread, but I don't care. Win by 5, and you got kumbaya here. We'll hold hands. We'll light the fire for you.
Tommy, don't be selfish like Rose. All right, I mean, you got to cover. You're going to win, and you need to win in the cover. Don't be selfish. Like, share that fucking iceberg, would you?
I won't rose you. I would take.
There's room. There's room on the door, Tom. Pull us up there with you.
Pop says, Tim Hardaway Jr., PJ Tucker, Terrence Ross. I'll take 2 out of them 3 and call it a night.
Yeah.
Call it a deadline, per se. Call it a deadline.
I'll take 1 of the 3. Fuck it. But 2 or 3, I'm even happier.
Absolutely. Once again, where do we order that from? Is that on the menu? Or is that,
seriously.
Is that like
is that one of those Chinese places? Let me get number 6 and the 16.
Is that like a secret handshake? New England clam chowder? Is that the red or the white? Where are we at?
I can never remember this.
What kind of place are we at here, Pop? Because I'm in, buddy. I'm in. If that's on the menu.
Is Tim Hardaway Jr. available?
I don't know.
Yeah, I to me, everyone keeps saying Dallas guys are available. To me, Dallas is going to make the playoffs, right?
They're right there.
I mean, I don't know if he is.
I'll take them.
These 2 guys are available, though. I mean, Ross and Tucker.
PJ Tucker's obviously not going to be on Houston anymore, so that's clear.
Ross and Tucker.
I love these guys. I love these guys that are like, I'm watching some stuff on NBA TV the other day, and they're like, I expect PJ Tucker to sign with the Nets. I'm like, didn't PJ Tucker just call James Harden a fucking asshole when he walked out of Houston? Now he's going to go to the Nets? Like, I don't know how that's going to work. That's kind of a weird development for me.
Yes, that's where I was going. I didn't even know that he said that. I was just thinking that fucking that that Tucker
They
has
want to come here and stick it hard in space.
Yes, Tucker has to have that same Brian Wilson fucking raging inside him about James Harden. He wants a piece of him. Right? He don't want to fucking join him. And that guy just fucking burned the place down that he was at. Right? He's gotta fucking be like.
And he was there for 13 years.
Like, I want to set this dude up. So yeah,
I totally agree. Sweeps like I was shocked when they said, I'm like, I don't think Tucker's going to the Nets.
No, dangle that carrot, buddy. Dangle that motherfucking carrot, dude.
You have to come here and beat up on James Harden.
I would tell PJ Tucker straight up, like if I was trying to get him right now, I'd tell him straight up, listen, we think we want you to come here because, we're fine with you punching Harden in the face game 1 of the series. You want to get punched him in the face and get a 2-game suspension? We're fine with it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people should just have me like on the payroll just for like fucking like conversations like that. Because like I can't get fired. I don't care. I'll fucking have that phone call with PJ. Come on, PJ.
So would I. I'm down with it.
This guy talks so much shit on you, PJ. He's a fucking little prima donna. Fucking guy burned the franchise down. Come on, buddy. Just fucking ask for your release and fucking come here for free. Let's go.
start getting in his ear like. Get us some bad things about him. Tell us
your wife.
Tell us some more stuff about Harden.
Oh, God,
Hey, slept with your wife, I heard. He slept with your wife. I'm just saying.
Called your daughter a whore, slept with your wife. He's all over the place.
Yes, I would be the definition of tampering. Like, if you look tampering in the fucking dictionary, it would be a picture of fucking Sweeps. Maybe with a slightly trimmer beard. But I would tamper
pre-pandemic Sweeps.
I would tamper like
healthier liver and shorter beard.
They would call me fucking tamperoo.
You know what's a positive sign, real quick? You know what's a positive sign? Uncle Tamper.
Oh, Tampy.
We got the 3 veterans that you need to play well, like forgetting Ben for a second, in the absence is Seth, Danny, Tobias, right?
Well, yeah.
In no specific order, all 3 double digits. So, going to be in double digits to end at half here. So that's the kind of shit you're going to need to be able to talk about that 6-2 we were talking about, guys, right? To be able to play like that kind of basketball over that stretch, or even better than that, you're going to need that because what do you got? You got 7 from Ben too. So, that's a quiet 7 per se. He got a little more aggressive.
I think 9.
Now he's got 9. So as quick as that. So you pretty much got, all 4 guys you sort of need to score are on pace to score where you need to score at. And can you play good? Like, again, can you play good enough defense? I think overall, obviously you're going to get hurt.
Caught a foul there?
Is that fucking real life?
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Is that real
terrible.
Life? Now Danny wants a review. Calm down, Danny. All right. I still think it's terrible.
It's absolutely terrible.
Oh my God, he didn't move his hand. What else, Spidey? Look at donation. He's like, I'll have to pay the fine for the PJ hook, the Harden.
Spidey, did you have JT tonight? Did you have JT?
God. This guy,
Justin Timberlake?
One guy.
Yeah, Justin Thomas.
Look at this golf talk. All right, come on. Look at this guy. Fucking guy's been in Florida.
Can't Spurs for an extra
Florida
set?
4 months. Now all he wants to talk about is golf. Oh, my God.
I had a decent day today.
Oh, yeah? What'd you shoot?
98.
Oh, look at Craig.
Guy turned into
anything that's under the triple digits, you're a fan of, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how we roll. Under triple digits, we're fans.
4 months, the guy turned into an old tan fucking prune.
I don't think he's even tan enough, Greg. You get yourself out there.
Yeah, you're right.
What are you putting, like an SPF 40 on? Let's go, dude. You need to get that tanning oil, that 2%.
His guy,
you feel good when he starts sizzling. Oh, God. All right.
His golf cart's got windows
and air conditioning.
That's unreal. What's the temp there today?
It was 85.
Yeah.
It was a hot one today.
Yeah, tough life you got.
Yeah.
So I'll say that's a good first half.
58 here.
Yeah, it's a great first half.
Definitely, Tommy.
I don't like the foul call at the end there, but besides that, it's a great first half.
15 bench points too. 15 bench points at the half.
That's on pace with what we've always asked for, right, Tommy? Get me between 30 to 40 a game from the bench. They're right on pace with where we need them to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say that the last 4 were almost averaging 130. I mean, we're thrown in the fucking ocean the last 4 or 5 games. I mean, we played well all year, but I'm saying from that standpoint, I think the last last 4 or 5, we're got to be around 130. I mean, I know one game was overtime, but still we won 131 to beat the Jazz 131, 123. But so we got to be sitting around 130 the last 4 games. That should win you some games.
Pumping up the crowd. Let's go.
Yeah, that's not going to hurt anybody.
No.
Scoring doesn't hurt when you play D too. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, for sure.
They have it in them themselves.
Everybody's a fan of playing some defense,
Which is hard to get, right? I mean, they have that in them.
except for the Nets.
Every time he gets a shot. Every time.
He loves to take that
any
shot.
chance I can. That's why I love these guys. Like, you should see the Nets scoring 135 a game. I'm like, yeah, they still let up 123 though. It's like, you know, and they haven't been scoring 135, guys. Let's calm down. They've actually played better defense of late, but I'm still going to keep this whole that they stink at defense thing just rocking.
Gave you the score. I think
Marleek, absolutely agree.
I thought I've had the score up. Yeah,
Boom.
60-52 at half.
Yeah, they're up 8.5. Up
Yep.
8.5.
On pace for that cover. And you have. We'll give you a quick stat rundown, and then we're gonna shift to some bracket talk before the doc comes on, and then we'll get back to some Sixers when they come back out from halftime, and into the third quarter a little bit more. Because there's nothing Sixers happening right this second. What we got? So, give me quicker, a little quickie here. Tobias with 10, Danny with 13, Seth with 11, Ben with 9, the great Tony Bradley with 2.
TV.
Mike Scott with 2, Howard with 4, Thibault 2, Milton 2, Corky 5.
Boom.
Solid. That's solid.
Everybody, a little bit. Everybody's dabbling. Everybody's getting there.
That's how we're going to need to be with Joe out. Everybody's got to chip in.
As the kids say, everyone's got to eat.
Christ.
I mean, did a kid say that, or I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, we got a lot.
They probably say something weirder than that.
We got a lot of
These
things
kids are weird.
tonight that I don't know if these are true statements.
I know I got to eat.
I don't like how they're not announcing the times for these games yet. So what time are these games played? Let's go here.
Which
NCAA.
ones? The ones on Friday and Saturday are noon, just like always.
No, but I'm saying, well, they're not all at noon, Greg. There's like, there's they'll be like noon, then they'll be like 3, then they'll be like 6, then they'll be like 9. There's like four games around noon, 4 games around 3, 4 games around 6, 4 games around 9.
Greg's not happy with the big fella.
No shit, Will.
No, but I'm saying I want to know the exact time Syracuse plays. What the fuck, Greg? Usually they at this point, clearly you don't watch enough college basketball, but usually they tell you the matchup and the fucking time.
Mr. 7 TVs in a room doesn't watch enough college basketball.
I got a second one hooked up today. Here it comes. Starting to get a little closer to you.
Yes. And we've seen some of those
Kind of live together.
some of those TVs you've had, like,
Yeah, I was gonna say, Downton Abbey's on 1 nonstop. Okay, we know there's like 3 fucking shows that no one else watches that are on 3 of the TV. So
he's
you
looking
gotta cut it down to like 3. You got like 3. You don't really have 7.
Yeah, he's got WrestleMania up top. He's got WWE up top. He's got SVU on the bottom.
NCIS and we're in. NCIS over SVU and we're
trying
in.
to figure out how to get away with all his fucking devious fucking Uber behavior.
Just watching Taxi Cab Confessions constantly.
When's this?
Is that a tip?
Dude's out here watching Pornhub Taxi Confession. And what's this gonna happen to me? I mean, I've been waiting.
Excuse me, sir. I don't have any money. Is there any other ways? Well,
yeah, you've been waiting for that.
Don't show your nipples though. Yeah, don't show them the nippies.
Well, gonna have to be strictly a bottoms party.
Topless talk.
No tit.
South of the border. Here we go. South of the border.
Hashtag no tit got me.
You can go get some fucking fireworks. You can go get some fireworks south of the border.
He's going to avoid the mountain region and head south.
I did say he loves palm trees.
Yeah, not a big Coors fan, are you? Huh? All right.
It's gonna go down for some Corona.
That John Denver's full of shit. That's great.
That's
Good.
spectacular.
Yeah, it's just a little Sunday night fun. Hey,
That's all good fun. That's great.
Come back from that.
Yeah. Shift gears to bracket talk.
All right, so back to Time Gate, where this all started. Back where it all started. All right, so who do we got? Who are some teams? Obviously, besides the top teams, who are some teams?
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's some top teams that are really tough. Obviously, if you've been watching, I think Illinois is going to be a really tough out for anybody. Obviously, Gonzaga hasn't lost a game yet. Michigan was looking great, but this Livers kid or Livers, however you say it, how long he's going to be out is really. I know they said it's indefinite at the moment, so he's a really good player for them. That could really hurt them.
Yeah, agreed.
There is some teams I like. Creighton better be careful. Creighton has a good team, but Creighton better be careful. The Gauchos of UC Santa Barbara can play. I've watched a few of their games. The Gauchos can play. I expect. I'll give you my two teams that win on Thursday. I don't care about the 2-16 games because they're not going to win against the one. But I think that Drake beats Wichita State, and I think that Michigan State beats UCLA to put both of them into the bracket.
Chip Kelly out there?
Chip might be watching the game. He ain't coaching it. And then some other, like you figure, there's usually, let's say, you can safely say 2 to 3 double-digit seeds are going to win in the opening round. Okay, it always happens. Usually there's at least one that goes to the Sweet 16, double-digit seed. So, I mean, listen, you can call me a homer all you want.
Homer. I was waiting for it.
Syracuse is a tough. Guess what, Greg? I got a little knowledge. Drop a little knowledge on you. Do you know the best record ever as double-digit seed? Syracuse University, 7-2.
I was just waiting to see if you led with Syracuse or like if you gave other teams
I
first,
gave other teams first,
and then like went over the top with Syracuse.
No, but I mean, I think that they're going to. I don't like that they're playing San Diego State because I thought San Diego State was going to be a very dangerous team. So of course we got to play them. That's how it goes for me always. But I think the Cuse are going to be a tough out for San Diego State. So I'd look to them maybe. Winthrop's going to be a tough out for Villanova. And obviously Nova lost Gillespie.
Yeah, I think they win. I think they win that game flat out.
Who, Winthrop?
Yeah.
Yeah, they could. That's a tough game.
Villanova's not the same without Gillespie.
No, not at all. I like there's a couple 10 seeds. I thought Rutgers could possibly win 1 or 2 games as a 10 seed.
Maryland's a scary 10 seed as well.
That's true.
I mean, Rutgers would have Houston in the next round, and then they get fucking drubbed there. I don't know. It is what it is. But, yeah, I mean, I think obviously it's been a weird year. So we all know that. So it's, those 4 top seeds are fantastic. And like Will said, I don't know, see what happens with Michigan. I really, really like Michigan. But, that's, we'll see about that injury. This is the best team Baylor's had in a long time. And the Zags, if you're a Zag fan, you would have liked to probably stub your toe at some point. You know what I mean? Like,
or at least played a big team outside.
Exactly. That's where they always get
West Coast.
And that's where people always kill them, and I get it. You know what I mean? But they're very, very, very talented.
Oh, they're extremely good.
But are they battle tested? I don't know. Nobody knows. But they're very talented. Houston's really good. Some second tier teams. For me, Bama. Arkansas. Iowa. I'm a big fan of Iowa. Bohannon. And,
Garza. Luke Garza is incredible. I like UConn a lot, but they're not a double digit seed.
Yeah, they're
I think UConn's heading in the right direction going into the tournament.
I agree.
The Bonnies are tough. I thought LSU's been playing good. I know they kind of fucked me a couple bets the last couple of days, but LSU's been playing really good heading in here. But the Bonnies are tough. That's a tough matchup for LSU. The Bonnies play really, really good defense. They hit the boards.
And I had some other teams. Like I said, I had Loyola Chicago and San Diego State prior to the seedings, because Loyola Chicago as an 8 seed, then you got to beat a 1.
Then you got to, it's tough.
I don't see them beating any of those 1 seeds, you know what I mean? And they might not even beat Georgia Tech, but I kind of like Loyola Chicago. Georgia Tech's playing well now. So until I saw the seedings, I kind of had them circled as a sleeper. And then San Diego State, until they drew our boys, go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? So, I got no time for that. But I do agree. I do agree with UConn. Sorry. You know what I mean? Oklahoma State can make some noise just because when you have, the top pick in the draft, he easily can drop 40 every game and carry it. You know what I mean? And we know this game. We know the tournament is obviously, what the tournament is about. It's guard play and superstars. You know what I mean? And those guys, can take over games. You know what I mean? So it helps to have him. Ohio State, obviously Wilson's pissed about that last shot and it was unnecessary, but, they got a good team, they're given the right matchups, given the right road. I don't know their exact road. They're very good as well. And, so, we'll see.
Yeah, I hated that my Liberty Flames drew Oklahoma State because I agree with you. I think Oklahoma State with Cade Cunningham can make a run because of how guards play. And I think that too, to what we talked about a minute ago with Villanova, losing Connor Gillespie kills them.
Yep.
They're not the same team without having him.
Their third best guard got hurt too, right? I don't know his name, but so they lost technically maybe their first and fourth best player. That's really tough. Really tough.
Another team, I think, because they have good guard play.
Clearly their leader, so that's a killer.
Another team, in that South bracket, I think, potentially has a run in them is Texas Tech, with the guard play and the veterans that they have, right? Texas Tech, it's a lot of what's that?
Utah State is tough, though.
They are. It's tough, but I hear you. If I was to give out one sleeper tonight to maybe win 2 games.
Yeah, they got Mac McClung who played great year.
Maybe to win 2 games. And obviously, it'd be a stretch to even win 1 game, but that's what a sleeper's all about. I like UNC Greensboro. As a 13 seed, we talked about before the show, Leonard Hamilton, his teams are always 20-win teams, but they always underachieve and they fail to get it done.
Yeah.
And, I think Isaiah Miller, he's been player of the year for, in their conference for UNC Greensboro. He's fantastic and he can easily take over that game. And maybe, if they get past that, if they shock the world there, they might be sitting at a fucking 12-13 matchup because Georgetown's playing spectacular.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Colorado's good. Colorado's really good. I'm not taking anything away from them.
Georgetown's playing lights out, though.
Georgetown's playing lights out right now. And you possibly have a 12-13 right there where you might be able to win one too,
Who knew all you need to do was get some MSG guards to fucking deny Patrick access to the guard?
How great was that?
His head's going to blow, and Georgetown's going to play great. First off, I love that out of Patrick, though. I mean, he was saying it jokingly. I loved out of Patrick. I built this fucking house. You're gonna ask me who I am? He's like, the one was the hologram. My hologram was on the wall right there. And I said, that's me. That's me right there. Right there. You see that guy right there?
I knew you were
in the rafters? That's me.
I almost avoided
on the dream team. That's me.
I almost avoided bringing them up because that was going to be my Crumb, not him. Love what he did. My Crumb would have been the security guard. There's a 7'2" dude. Chances are he's somebody. You don't have to know who Patrick Ewing is. You don't have. I mean, just look up every once in a while. Have a fucking feel for life. But the guy's fucking 7'2". Chances are he belongs in the fucking building. You know what I mean? Like, have a fucking idea, man.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say probably belongs there.
Yeah.
I'm
see
trying
that
to
guy
think.
up there?
There's
me.
another.
I like
There's
Iona.
another team.
I like Iona.
Yeah, well, that's old Ricky. That's Ricky P.
They got 2
he's
guards.
putting a couple back. He's been putting a couple back the last day and a half after getting in. You know that.
What up,
Rick
Bryce?
loves him some drinks.
Bryce.
They got the guard play, right? They got Isaiah Ross. That's not
They're not bad. Yeah, they're not bad. Iona's not bad. They haven't played many games.
Bama's tough.
They haven't played many games, Tommy, which is
I don't know
tough
who
for
they're
them.
up against. I don't know who they're matching up.
It's a 215 against Bama. It's tough, man.
Yeah, Bama's playing well.
Well, I feel bad for Drexel.
Yeah,
Drexel got in for the first time in a while, and what do you get? Illinois. That's
you were Tommy. You were hoping they were, they were 12 or 13. I feel you. They maybe could have made a run, but not just because they're 15. Bama's really tough, man. But I hear you.
My other one was UNC Greenberry. You already said that one. Loyola Chicago. I like.
I'll tell you what. Ohio Bobcats are a tough out, and who knows how many guys Virginia's going to have? You know,
I was just thinking
obviously
that.
they might lose a couple guys here because of COVID. So that could possibly be a really tough game for them. Now, Virginia is really tough to play against. So I don't want, I don't envy anybody that has to play against them because they slow it down. They play great defense. They're just a pain in the fucking ass. But that's a tough matchup for them because, I mean, like, again, we don't know how many guys are going to play for them. So, and Ohio Bobcats, they're not bad.
Another stretch. Now, if somebody, if our listeners are looking for
Eastern Washington,
if our viewers are looking for high seeds and possible upsets, could be the Mean Green of North Texas. Purdue to me is perennial underachievers. What I mean, and everybody wants to blow the Big Ten, double fisted. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? That's. I mean, it's, so you never know. Purdue does nothing for me. Doesn't move the dial, as Wills likes to say. So, I mean, and they very well might win by 20. I'm just saying, like, as a 13 seed, you never know with the North Texas Mean Green.
No, absolutely.
I think it's Eastern Washington. I'm trying to remember real quick, and I'm using my phone here, so I can't look it up. But I think one of those teams up there that's like a 13 seed has a guy that's going to go top 5 on their team. He's going to they have a big man that's going to go in the lottery. I think it's Eastern Washington, and Toby, so they could be a tough out.
Toby with the first 4 points out of the half.
So USC does. USC does. Wills, but I mean, obviously that's not a you would know.
No, there's a small team that has a guy that's going to go top 10.
Saying. I didn't think you were talking about them, but Mobley's fantastic. He's a top 5 pick.
I don't
think it's Morehead State.
Evan Mobley.
I don't think it's Morehead State. I think it might be Eastern Washington. I'll look it up after this, and I'll comment on the show about who it is.
Woo! Sixers hot out the gate.
Hard to see.
Wills, I'm looking at a potential mock draft right now. I don't see anybody outside of USC. You know what I mean? Like Arkansas, Tennessee.
Small that they have a guy going in the lottery.
No,
I mean there is. I don't know.
I mean the mock draft I'm looking at doesn't show it. So
okay, I heard them talking about it the other day. I can't remember who the fuck it was.
Oh, Kyrie
Washington, but I could be wrong.
Now Kyrie with a 3. Ooh, 15-point lead. 15-point lead.
And I tell you what, I don't feel bad for Louisville. First team out. Couldn't happen to a better program. Fuck you, Louisville. But St. Louis, I feel kind of bad for because they had the longest break of anybody, longest COVID. I think they had almost a 2-month break to February 5th without playing a game. And so they only end up with like 19 games played. It's so tough to judge a team that only played 19 games and everybody else is playing 27. So, I mean, I feel kind of bad for them. I mean, I'm happy Syracuse got in. So, I'm not going to feel too bad. But that kind of sucks for them. It's been a weird year, though, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's always, like I said, there's always a handful of people that are pissed off. And, they're going to justify it. The committee tries to justify it the best way they can, and most of us don't want to hear it. And it is what it is. We like to use the eye test. They like to go strength of schedule and BPI, and I get it. I mean, there's a whole criteria and stuff. You know what I mean? But
do you guys think if Arkansas would have beat LSU yesterday and gotten to the finals of the SEC, do you think they would have bumped up to a 2 seed? Or were they always? You think they always would have stayed on that 3 line?
To me, Alabama's better than them, so I think that's probably why they would have stayed there. But you never know; they're probably pretty close to it. Arkansas was firing down the stretch here.
They were pretty good.
Like Texas Tech, to me, is a dangerous team. I know Greg already said this, but Texas Tech's a team that maybe a month ago I would have said it's a 3 or 4 seed, and then they get a 6 seed. So you're like, ooh, Texas Tech could be kind of dangerous. And the Big 12's tough. So
yeah,
I look at Texas Tech as
I mean, they might have
team.
They might have bumped Iowa, but I mean, it's a good question. I agree with Will's. Bama's better than them, but
agreed.
If they would have won the SEC, then they could have bumped Iowa. I don't think they bumped Houston. I don't think they bumped Bama. and Ohio State, made it to the
After they
final.
win, they get there.
They could have replaced them. They could have replaced Ohio State or Iowa, probably in my eyes. But like I said, there's been, the Big Ten slurp city. This year.
Yeah.
Now I know Ohio State was missing that guard.
That's how Michigan
is he,
State. I think
is
Michigan
he
State
back?
became only the second team. I think
that
they're
us?
healthy.
Do we
No, I
lose
don't
our-
I
think
don't
they're
know if we.
healthy. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I feel like I'm getting like a little static. I think Ohio State's healthy, Greg.
Okay. 'Cause I remember watching going into that Michigan game. Michigan obviously lost Livers, and Ohio State was missing one guy. And so if he's back or he'll be back, then that's fine. Did they announce the other teams, the COVID teams?
Yes,
Did they announce them?
Yeah, so it's the first four out. It's Louisville. Louisville's the first one. So if a team has to drop out, Louisville's the one that goes in.
Okay.
And then it's who were the other? It was Louisville, Colorado State, St.
The
Louis.
Billikens.
Louisville, Colorado State, St. Louis, and somebody else are the four.
Okay.
But yeah,
To answer Pop, I mean,
I guess if
don't
you're a
know.
Louisville fan, you're hoping that Virginia can't play or Kansas can't play,
Yeah.
To answer Pop, I mean, maybe the Zags. I mean, I don't say that because I already said they're talented. They're very talented, and they were, clearly, looking like, the best team, for obviously they were undefeated, you know what I mean? But, are they tested, you know what I mean? And you got Oklahoma or Missouri in that second round that could pose a little bit of a trouble for them, you know what I mean? Like, in that
Big
sense,
country Brian Reeves kid there at Oklahoma.
I mean, I don't see.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Baylor, I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. I think Baylor's really good,
Michigan too.
but Baylor,
Michigan too. If Livers is out for an extended period of time,
yeah, I just don't
To me,
scare
Baylor
LSU and Bonnie.
has to worry about UNC.
Yeah, UNC and Wisconsin. It makes for exactly two.
The thing is, UNC and Wisconsin can both knock people off, and UNC has two huge guys. They just dominate the boards. And Baylor's not that big. Baylor's very athletic and very good, though. And they have that guard that's like the best defender in the country. I can't think of his name right now. Something Mitchell.
What team?
Baylor. It's not.
you'd have
Davion Mitchell.
Davion Mitchell. He's like the best. He's like the best defensive guard in the country.
Yep.
But to me, UNC is a dominant on the glass, dominant big team, and they pose problems. I'm not saying that they're going to get by Wisconsin because Wisconsin's very tough. But if UNC gets by Wisconsin, that's a team that could give Baylor a lot of trouble.
Yeah, there's some, there's some second round intriguing matchups for those one seeds, Pop. You know what I mean? Because even Loyola, Chicago, or Georgia Tech, as much as we love Illinois, and Illinois is, very, very good, very good. All right, but there's two good teams that are playing right at the right time. You know what I mean? Loyola, Chicago's been there pillar to post, and they're a small program, but they've been here before, and they made a run in the tournament. And Georgia Tech's playing right, almost like Georgia.
really good right now.
And they have a really good guard and they have a really good big man. Moses Wright, big man, the ACC Player of the Year, really good. And Jesus Alvarado, guard, really good player. So usually bigs and guards equal success in the tournament.
And go real quick, going back to your UNC Wisconsin. Both of those teams and programs have been there before, right? Not saying Baylor hasn't, but both those programs are used to being there. So to your point, right, if someone's going to upset Baylor, it's probably one of those blue bloods that are used to being there and playing in March and know what it takes.
Yeah, they're not going to be out of their element. That's for sure.
Yeah.
They're not going to. The big lights aren't going to surprise them.
Yep.
Absolutely.
No, it should be fun. To Will's point earlier, this is the best time of the year. This is awesome time. Baseball is ramping up. March Madness is here. We got the Masters in a couple weeks. Like, this is the best time for sports. Yeah, obviously NBA's rock and rolling. Hockey now. We got it all back. We're starting to get fans back. Let's go.
Yeah, feeling good. And obviously really pumped for the tourney to start. I'm a little upset. I was kind of hoping that maybe Drexel would get like a 14 and have a shot.
Kind of help them out a little bit.
They have no shot at winning this game that they got, which sucks because it's the first time Drexel's made a tourney since like 1990, I think, or something. So
Yeah.
so
It's
Wow,
funny
that
too
long?
because
That
that was
long,
my
huh?
thought. Was that?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I was just thinking that long, huh? Wow.
it's been a long time. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's exact
Yeah.
year, but it's a long time.
Yeah, and that was my thought with Liberty. Not that they haven't been there in a second, but why do we have to get Oklahoma State? Like,
Yeah.
why do we have to get Oklahoma State? Kate Cunningham.
You're like, didn't Oklahoma State do enough to get a 3 spot?
Yeah, I feel like it's probably.
I thought Oak State was going to get a 3. I really did.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
It's
shocked they got a
definitely-
4.
It's definitely been a while, but I feel like Bruiser Flink got him there one time. You know what I mean? But I don't know how long ago that was. Might have been 20 years. Drexel, that is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know they were good. Like 10 years ago, they were really good, but they just missed the tournament. I know they were like a bubble. They didn't win their tournament, and they were a bubble team that didn't make it.
Yeah,
So I don't think that they've made it in quite a while. But it's good to see them make it, though, for a little hometown shit going on here. So if you're a Drexel Dragon, I'm sure you're rooting for them. It's going to be probably going to be a rough one, but at least they made it. That's kind of where when you get the 16 seed, at least if you're Drexel, you can say, well, we're better than the other 16 seeds that have to play in the first 4. We're at least in the bracket.
Drexel's first time in 25 years.
There you go. So, yeah, Wills was just off by 6 years, but yeah, goddamn. Wow, 25 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's a long time, yeah.
That's insane. Yep. So that was probably, yep.
And I know Kansas is going to have some issues, obviously, with whoever's not going to be able to play.
Yeah,
'Cause
I think they lucked out staying on the 3 line.
Yeah, you're right. And I know they sent one kid home already who already tested positive, and they're hoping that no one else will. But they were playing well down the stretch, which is good for them. But this could really hurt them. We got to see how it impacts them. And I think Drake's going to beat Wichita State. And if I'm a USC, I know USC's tough, and they got a kid that's going to go really high in the draft. But if I'm
Potentially
USC,
too,
I'm
yeah.
a little nervous.
Oh,
that
guess what?
Drake and Wichita State are pretty good fucking teams.
Oh, guess what? Now you got Tony Bradley limping off the court. So the PJ Tucker, Boogie Cousins
Brad.
of the world conversation. But Sixers up 80-63 right now. Tobias 16, Danny 16, Ben 11, Seth 18. So good job out of them boys stepping up in the absence. And speaking of the absence, we're going to talk to the doc here and talk about Joel Embiid and the bone bruise heard around the world, right?
I just saw the Tony play.
We were all
Look
excited when we
bad.
woke up. We were waiting for a Woj bomb of good news, and we got it. And I wanted to let it sit another 24 after the good news just to make sure, because it's Philly. And we sat, and now it's a bone bruise. So now we'll talk about what it looked like. How the hell is that only a bone bruise, etc. But like we're brought to you every Sunday by our doc, make him yours, Dr. Paul Videl, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. And you can find them on the web right there, and you can find them right on your screen right there as well. Doc, good to talk to you again.
What up, Doc?
Hey, Doc.
What's happening?
Hate to say under these terms, but they're better terms than what I expected. When I saw the injury the first time, I was like, oh my goodness. Now we were talking about on the air, when we reach out to the doctor to get him on about this one, this might not be a good one. This might not be a good one. We're praying, and we did a whole service. We did everything to make sure he walked again. Like I was trying to make him walk again, and I feel like we did. I feel like we were a part of him walking again, because when I looked at it, it looked really bad. Your initial thoughts when you first saw it, though.
Yeah, in fact, I just watched it like about a half hour ago for the first time, and when I saw that replay, especially in slow motion, you can see that left knee, I believe, was fully hyperextended. I mean, under that load and landing, that's the first thing you fear, man. He tore a ligament and a meniscus. It's amazing, that he didn't do further damage to that. So, obviously we're all pretty happy about that. He had a similar injury like that about a month ago when they played. I think actually they played San Antonio, right? Or one of those teams. He landed on his knee wrong about a month ago as well, right?
Yeah, I don't think it was as bad though, Doc. But
Yeah.
right. He definitely tweaked it.
Yeah. So it's happened to another time. I mean, hopefully he the luck keeps going with them. But yeah, that looked pretty serious at first. But obviously it's not. So
Yeah. Now you talk about it being 2 weeks to reevaluate them.
Yeah.
Estimated time we were trying to speculate. It could be a month. It could be a 4-weeker. Just by the time you reevaluate them, you get them back moving again. It looked bad. So I would assume it's a pretty severe bone bruise from what it looked like. And so I would expect that. What do you think, Doc?
Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks, I think it's just hey, let's reassess, because I think the MRI probably showed some either bleeding or swelling around the bone, which would indicate a injury to the bone. The ligaments were intact. So 2 weeks is like the beginning stage of, hey, let's see if some healing is starting to occur. But depending on the degree, this could be weeks. It could be a month, maybe even longer. Hopefully not. I'm trying to think of which bones were bruised. I'm reading all the reports. They don't specify. It could be the back of the kneecap that went into the femur, which is the long thigh bone, or it could be like the plateaus of the tibia and the femur where they meet together. So it depends, but either way, it's a painful thing. And, you could see him on the floor in pain. So, but 2 weeks is definitely just like, hey, let's see where he is. Let's do what it takes to kind of get him to feel better. And then we can get a better sense after that.
Yeah, almost unrealistic. They have back right after 2 weeks. Just from looking at it, you're right. Him screaming, he let out a whimper, and you're like, oh my God, here we go. It's just our luck. This is what happens. We can't have nice things. and there was no way. I mean, on the show we were doing, I was like, no way. He's done. He's done. He's done. Here we go. He's done. And everything. People were like, hold out hope. I don't see any hope with this one. He yelled. I don't know. So I don't know how he's all right. I guess he's in better. Them knees are in better shape than we thought to be able to hold up that, because you watch Clay and other guys come down awkward like that, and usually Shake did it a month ago in Portland. I remember Shake did it, and when Shake landed, I thought the same thing. I think it was on his, I don't know if it was his ankle or his knee. It was like a combo, but it looked really bad. I'm like, all right, there's a knee. That's it. And these guys are just so flexible. It's unbelievable that they can even pull it off. You know what I mean? You can pull it off. That's a bone bruise, and now your whole knee snapped out.
Yeah.
These guys stepped up tonight in his absence for sure.
Yeah, they did, man. Looks like they got a 13-point lead, something like that.
Heavy burden without him, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like, I actually got a colleague out in California. He's at USC. He does all this biomechanics training. He's got a special lab, and he looks at knee injuries, and they look at how people land and nice play, and how they land and how their knees kind of angle, and they put all these motion sensors on the body, and it's just really cool because you can actually train athletes to land properly. You can train their core, their legs, and it teaches their nervous system what to do. And you do this repetitively. So hopefully when you do land, and even if it's in the moment, it's real quick, that your body knows how to respond, so the knee doesn't hyperextend. I mean, there are things you can't prevent, but if you train the body a certain way, you may be able to reduce the risk. So it's some pretty cool stuff that's happening out west.
Yeah, that's really incredible. I mean, these guys being able to train their bodies to do that.
Yeah.
To land the proper way.
Yeah.
It's absolutely nuts. But I mean, for a guy like that, as heavy as he is too, to land like that too, it's even put the weight on it, just being a bigger guy, and knee injuries with big guys per se. And then the left knee that we've seen with Carson, we different type of situation, obviously, but a guy on an MVP tear and the left knee, and then you see this left knee, a guy on an MVP tear. I think it gave some people some flashbacks for a second.
It's obviously an interesting take. They almost have to send those guys to stuntman school. To learn how to learn how to fall right.
Well, it's interesting, man. Is it me, or is it Embiid's obviously one of the biggest dudes in the NBA? He seems to get on the floor more than any other big guy that I know. I mean, he's not that he's flopping, but he's just he seems to end up on the floor a lot.
Yeah,
No, he
Wilson,
definitely does.
Wilson's always saying, get up, dude.
He's on the floor way too much for my liking. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
so I'm wondering, part of the issues with knee injuries, like when you land and things like that, it goes to like core control and hip strength, right? So I'm just wondering if, I'm just thinking out loud, is it, because since Embiid ends up on the floor a lot, does he just not have good control of his body? It's just, just something to consider. And if that's something to kind of look at in the future and how he could better prepare himself and train to, so he can, perform better and with less risk for injury.
Yeah, for sure. Because he is always on the floor every time he takes it to the rack. Even when he dunks it on somebody, I feel like he almost ends up
on the floor. But no, I mean, Tommy, this goes back to your point of saying that, Joel still has longer shelf life because of what these guys are able now to do with their bodies and modern medicine and, the stuff like, Doc's colleague is doing out there on the West Coast, which is crazy to even think, that we're able to do that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. It really is. What was it?
I'll take that kind of technology over spin rate and launch angle. So giddy up, medical field, giddy up.
And the Sixers are rolling right now too. By the way, it's 99-69.
Pop's got the long hair flowing. He don't look happy.
No, he's not. Tobias. It's right. 97-69. Tobias.
28-point lead.
Definitely a little revenge coming out. Somebody said that he looks good tonight. That's why you're paying him, max money for. Step up in the absence of the MVP, right?
He's been great all year. So I mean, it's not surprising. So nobody's going to take a step back now, Toby.
Nope.
I tried to take a giant dump on you preseason, and you responded. I love it, buddy.
God, would you say realistically 2 weeks after the reevaluation, he could be back? Like, you know what I mean? Realistically?
Well, I mean, I guess that's always possible. I guess I look at it like this too. I mean, we've always had such an issue with him they've always been so careful with him with load management, all this stuff, right? I mean, and there's something to be said about team chemistry, but I guess if the Sixers are rolling, like if they play like they are tonight and they're taking care of business, part of me is like, why rush them back? Because we still got a long postseason to go.
Absolutely, Doc. Absolutely.
So
I'm of the opinion that he only need to come back till he's 100%, and if that takes 4 or 5 weeks, then that takes 4 or 5 weeks.
No, I agree too. I don't care when he comes back if we're playing great basketball. Then I even keep pushing it back. Like, take another week. Take another. You know what I mean? Take another week. Take another week, and you're going to start playing with house money if you're playing great basketball.
Absolutely, buddy.
Yeah, if the bench is playing well and they're playing against good competition, that's only going to make them stronger for the playoffs.
For sure. Woj bomb. Jared Dudley is a right MCL tear for the Lakers.
Jared Dudley's still around.
Yeah, Jared. It's amazing that Jared Dudley still plays in the league, considering he played 16 years at Boston College.
Yeah, he's got to be 86. I mean, incredible.
He's got a grandkid that's about to be in the league, probably.
I don't even know who that is.
Don's got a question for Doc.
I don't think does Dudley play that much, Craig? He can't play that much. I mean, thanks, Woj, for letting us know. I guess he tore it getting off the bench for the Lakers.
I don't know. He doesn't play. I mean, he barely plays at all.
Yeah, I don't think he played 1 minute.
Yeah, Don's a Michigan fan. One of their studs has a stress injury in his right foot. He's just looking for what kind of timetable you think, Doc.
Yeah, I mean, they probably have him in a boot. I'm not sure when this happened, but
it just happened
this
Doc.
week,
it happened
a couple
Thursday.
days ago.
Thursday.
Yeah. I mean, I would say at least 2 weeks. In the boot, probably offload or non-weight bearing, let that thing heal up. They'll reassess him. I mean, he's a little bit younger, so these guys heal a little faster. But I would say at least 2 weeks.
So maybe not to the Final Four. Do you see him if you make it, Michigan?
Is Michigan in the tournament?
Yeah, they're number 1 seed. They're very good, but the guy that they lost, I think his name's Isaiah Livers. He's really, really good. So that's going to be a tough pill for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of their senior leaders. Yep.
They have a very good team, though, and they're very well coached by Juwan Howard. So if you're a Michigan fan like Don, is you just got to hope that they can, kind of just get wins. Just keep advancing and get by getting wins, and hopefully he can be back for the end of the tournament.
Yeah. Sorry, Don.
Yeah, that sucks, buddy. I mean, I know you guys. I feel bad because I've been saying for a couple weeks that Michigan was my favorite to win it all. I thought that they have a great team, but that's a big loss, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no, they really do have a great team. Smith, I think he's defensive player of the year. Dickinson, freshman stud.
I love the center Dickinson.
Yeah, I love Dickinson.
Yeah, really good player.
Newcomer of the year and defensive player of the year, I think, was Smith. So they got a lot of pieces. Yeah, I mean that, and obviously that injury. When you talk about a senior, it absolutely sucks. But they're still going to be a tough out. And I love me some Juwan Howard. All right. The other night when he went after Turgeon, I love it. All right, Turgeon, shut your mouth. All right, little popping off. Shut it. He wasn't even talking to you, Turgeon.
Couldn't agree more. Don't like Mark Turgeon.
The Maryland bench was chirping. All right, come on. This guy's a Fab Five member. All right, you best look the other way. You better look the other way, boy.
By the way, another double-digit seed that I didn't mention that I like to win at least one game is Virginia Tech. Kind of shocked they got a 10. I thought they would get like an 8. I think they're kind of misseeded that way, and I don't think Florida. I'm kind of shocked that Florida got a 7. I thought Florida would be more of an 8, 9, or 10. So I think Tech has a very good chance to beat Florida in the 10-7 matchup.
Yeah,
so, Doc, I want to ask you, switch over to the Flyers. Shockingly, the Flyers have yet another player with, a recurring head injury. Nolan Patrick just doesn't seem like he's recovered from his migraine disorder and whatever that, lingering effects goes on with the head. How much of that is, the actual migraines itself versus just the confidence to be able to know that you're cleared and ready to go?
Yeah. Well, I mean, did he what we don't know is if he had migraines before. I mean, I'm assuming this is concussion related.
And it was he missed the whole year, so this is yeah.
So a couple things, one of the important things to ask when someone comes in from a concussion, if they have migraine headache, because you can have what we call post-traumatic migraines, like migraines that occur from the injury. But one of the questions to ask is if they had migraines prior to, right? Because that's always a wild card, and that might be a predictor for prolonged recovery. But persistent headaches, especially like migrainous type of headaches, they can be debilitating. I mean, I forget who had them more recently in the Philly area, I believe. But there's a lot of things going on there. So the concussion itself, all the inflammation, the chemical stuff, that stuff settles down in the first couple days and weeks, right? But some people do not spontaneously just get better, and they have lingering effects and what we call persistent post-concussion symptoms that can last weeks, months, and sometimes years. And with the treatment, we when I say we, that's out there, whether it's seeing a neurologist, therapist, or a vision guy, whatever. There's a lot of things that can improve the person's symptoms. So, having persistent migraines, one of the things, I would ask is, or think about is whether they've, if he's getting his neck looked at and treated, and also his eyes. The eyes play a huge role in this. It's not so much 20/20 vision, so to speak. It's how the vision's being processed in the brain. And that can be impaired after a brain injury. So there's some specific treatments that go on for the eyes that can help people out. Obviously, the neck can respond well to manual techniques, stretching, and stuff like that. But it has to kind of be looked at more globally because he's obviously beyond the normal healing time for concussion. So
that's great info, Doc, because I always wondered what happened with Justin Morneau. You know what I mean? It was never the same after he got a concussion, and that's a contact sport, baseball. You know what I mean? But he was an MVP one year, and then got a concussion, and then for years it lingered, and he was never the same. And it just always wondered. You know what I mean? Now not to come off topic from Philly. I always wondered that. You know what I mean?
I remember when he got kneed in the head, Sleeps. I remember that.
Yeah. I could tell you a story without naming names. I had a pitcher at the professional level. You know, he was lighting it up, doing well, and power pitcher, left-hander, and he got a concussion. And every time he went to his windup, you know, and he twisted and then he looked back towards the plate, he couldn't find the plate. Like he literally couldn't find the plate. So when he was throwing, he was erratic. You know, he couldn't find the strike zone, what have you. You know, it was persistent. And then obviously, you know, the stories come out like, you know, it's all in his head, stuff like that. But the guy had a problem with his vision, you know, and you correct the eye's ability to work together. They call it teaming or converging together. You know, then you can obviously function better. But when you can't do that, imagine trying to pitch and you're in the windup and then you go to turn to the plate. Yeah, that was a
Doc, used to make me feel better. That wasn't Rick Angill, was it? without divulging, all right. Just, you know, blink twice if that was Rick Angill.
Was that Steve Sachs? All those guys. See those guys, man. There's something. You know, obviously they have the physical tools, and all of a sudden they can't throw anymore. You know, like it's that's amazing. That's a whole different thing.
That's the jitters there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and then Ankiel went to the outfield and would throw darts to third.
Yeah,
it's like, can't you just pretend like you're in the outfield when you're on the mound, Rick? What's going on here?
When you think about that, that was the fix for all those guys. Steve Sachs, I don't remember that, but they moved him to left field. Knobloch,
they put Knobloch in the outfield too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole.
Knobloch was the weirdest though because second to first is such a short throw. It's not even that hard of a throw, and he just couldn't make it anymore.
Yeah.
And do it.
Max was a second baseman too. Yeah, it's crazy. And then you know, catchers get it. I mean, that's a whole different leather couch talk. You know, Doc.
That's one of the ones where they lay you down.
Yeah.
You are sleepy.
The kind of service we did for Embiid last night.
Hey man, tell what day? What was that date, Tom? When did you do the service? Was that last night?
Friday night.
Yes, you know they go on to win it all, man. It's all going to start from Friday night, man. When you did the service.
Good,
Tommy was running me looking for a live chicken. Yeah. him and Serrano were looking for a live chicken.
I thought he was going to walk in with one of those things. You know, he just flicking the water around. Holy water for everybody.
We got a problem. Tommy's looking for a whole chicken.
Got to give him a whole bucket of KFC, just like you wanted one whole chicken.
Now you can make. Now it makes sense for Nolan Patrick. Can't see. Can't score. You know, can't
see. Yep.
Yeah, you can't dish.
I mean, I can't skate and I can see fine, so I assume it's tough to skate when you can't see.
Yeah, you know, that game moves so fast, man. Yeah. It's like, you know, I guess I mentioned like the eyes need to converge. It's like when the eyes move in closer together, you got to go in like that. So imagine trying to track a puck coming to you or a baseball that's being pitched to you, and you can't process that. I mean, what does it take? It's like 0.4 seconds of that for you to react to a fastball or something like that. I mean, that's crazy.
Like a half a second. Yeah.
So, and you know, having your vision perfect, it matters at that level.
Sure.
You know?
Absolutely.
It does. Speaking of that, it matters reading defenses. You know, when you talk about a quarterback that was just here after a concussion and had a terrible year, so you don't know effects. You don't know. I'm just saying. But what I want to tie that into, because of draft pick reasons, does he play a full season next year? Carson Wentz. Because if he does, we get a first round pick. If he doesn't, we don't. So
that's all right. I didn't know that was the deal.
Huh. Yep. He's got to play 75% of the snaps.
Yeah, 75, yeah.
So, I mean, he went to the Colts, right? So, like, what would, you know, I guess if they're really doing well and they're pushing to make the playoffs, they're going to make them play. But if, like, the season's done, why are they going to, you know, make them play?
Well, I would think in their perspective, they think they're going to have a good team. So, yeah. I would expect that if he's healthy, that we're going to get the first round pick is like what I would expect. Now, granted, we know that he hasn't always been healthy, so who knows?
Yeah, maybe a change of scenery will help him out, man.
I think so too, Doc. I actually expect him to have a very good year.
I mean, look at although he tore his ACL this year, right? Markelle Fultz. I mean, he just didn't fit, and he just didn't do well. But he wasn't doing too bad in Orlando.
No, he's playing great, actually. Yeah. unhappy towards ACL. I can't keep swallowing. I understand that he wasn't going to work here, but we just gave him to Orlando for nothing, and he turned into their starting point guard. That's not a good thing.
Yeah,
for nothing.
That's not a bill you can chop up, buddy.
No, that's not a good one.
Not for a guy who's playing in China right now, Jonathan Simmons. You know what I mean?
He's probably only playing 10 minutes a game in China. Dude stinks.
Oh, definitely a bench role. Definitely a bench role, Wells. No question about it. Not even. He's like their 10th man off the bench. They just give him some time at the end of the games to give him a little run.
Even Matisse is making threes. Uh-oh.
Yeah, they haven't missed in the last 10
You know why Jonathan Simmons stinks? Because Sticks used to like him. Remember, he was, Jonathan Simmons, good player. Stinks. Whenever he says that about somebody, dude, stinks. It's guaranteed.
Sticks is 1 and 2 tonight with you. 1 and 2. One compliment.
Who was the dude that we had for a little while? Could dunk. Jay thought he was going to be the greatest thing. He stinks. He's probably out of the league. KJ McDaniels. McDaniels. Oh, this kid's going to be great. Stinks. Out of the league.
Out of the league in 3 years. 3 years. Gone.
KJ.
Who's that guy they used to call
could dunk.
Who's that guy? They call him Simba or
Justin Anderson.
Justin Anderson. Yeah, he stunk too. Another one.
Man, he looked like he had some.
He was a good player at UVA, Virginia.
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
one of them guys I hated. I hate all those Virginia guys every year. They play too good defense. I don't like it.
Back off, would you, fellas?
As soon as they beat us on that 3, and the next morning they were like, "Oh, Virginia's got COVID." I was like, "Oh, couldn't happen to a better program." All right. Now I'm like, just hopefully no Syracuse guy has it. We're okay.
Lost to a 16 seed. I mean, the cauldron of goodness.
It sucks that they came out and won it the following year, because it would have been great if they lost to the 16, then lost to them again. That would have been spectacular. The best part is, not only did they lose to UMBC, they got blown out.
Yeah, it wasn't the buzzer beater.
No, it wasn't. Only 16 seed ever to win, and they won by double digits.
Hey, you're gonna make history.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
Maybe that's why Jeffrey
Sixers are up 40.
Yeah, man.
38 now, sorry. Tommy, I think we're going to cover.
Where's Ellsberger? Where's Ellsberger? Ellsberger's going to say,
we're going to cover, Tommy. Think we're going to cover.
Ellsberger. The Spurs are, they're rebuilding.
Yeah. Haven't heard much from Rob this year, have you?
Yeah, since Timmy retired.
Bob hasn't talked much this year. Spurs are always so great. Yeah, where are they this year, bud?
All quiet on the Western Front when Timmy retired.
they got Drew Eubanks wearing fucking sherbet colored shoes out here. What is that, dude? What do you got on?
Quiet
on your feet.
Kawhi won it out. All it's a little. You can hear a pin drop in the low.
We're up big when Vincent Poyer starts getting that minutes.
What's with the uniforms, though, man? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah.
With just the Liberty Bell.
What, the Liberty Bell unis?
Probably got up too fast, Brodo. You know what I mean? When you got to celebrate, when you're a bench guy, you got to get off the bench and celebrate. Held it. There it went. Something went.
Now, when you're getting LeBron's towel, you better get it quick.
That's it.
Gotta get his towel quick. Yeah, he's doing it.
Speaking of bench guy, I think John had a good current role for Jonathan Simmons, Stephon Marbury's water boy. He's probably still playing over there in China.
Yeah, he's still playing in China.
Marbury is the god over there.
Is he still playing? He can't still be playing.
Marbury.
He probably owns one of the teams over there now.
No, I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just know that guy walks on water over there.
That's 100% for sure. Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame over there. I think
he was playing as of last
Chinese
year.
Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Doc, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because he's got to be almost 50. Figure he was at Georgia Tech in '96, right? That's 25 years ago.
Yeah, he came out as a freshman, so a little.
He's 44.
I was 44. So he's less than I thought.
He's a head coach. He's actually currently a head coach.
See, I told you, head coach
for the Beijing Royal Fighters of the Chinese basketball.
Wow, Steph over there.
Is that a player's coach?
He very well could be.
I forgot
Coney Island to Beijing. Okay.
I was just gonna say, forgot me and Steph were the same age. Old Old man, old heads.
Swoops didn't like that. He's probably old now. Swoops is sitting up there like, same age, asshole, same age.
That's great.
Steph, though, that was the ACC had some great teams that year when he was at Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
I got to tell you, man, Georgia Tech. Remember Kenny Anderson?
Kenny Anderson.
Yeah.
He's
Although
a
he went
baller.
to the Nets, right?
Yep.
Right.
Him and Derek Coleman. Early 90s, and that's were dangerous. Then the dude died in a car accident.
Then DC got dangerous.
Dragic, or
Drazen Petrovic. Petrovic.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that dude died, man.
Yeah, they were. I think he was an all-star. Derek Coleman was an all-star, and Kenny Anderson might have been an all-star too. They were really good early 90s.
Yeah.
And then he died in a car accident. Derek Coleman got fat. Everything went downhill for the Nets.
And they drafted Van Horn.
They drafted Van Horn. Great job. And then they went Kerry Kittles.
Yeah, Kerry Kittles, never forget.
Kerry Kittles. Yep. Van Horn, Kerry Kittles. 2 bad picks.
Yep.
Where was Van Horn from?
Paul Van Horn.
Yeah,
Utah.
Wasn't there a nickname for Van Horn?
Should have been.
Oh, I thought they had. Oh, maybe that was Sean Bradley.
Sean Bradley. Oh, gosh.
Sean Bradley doesn't work in any era.
No.
Nope.
Never make that pick again.
The Storm and Mormon, Sean Bradley.
Yep. What they called him?
That would be the Storm and Norman.
Well, he ain't a storm nowhere.
Yeah. I just called him a giant shitburger. So I mean,
guy couldn't move.
No, yeah. Incredible. I just don't know what they were looking at. I mean 7'6". Well, we can. It's a project. We can fix him. His feet don't move. What are you gonna put rollerblades on him? That's the only thing you can fix him. I love these guys in the war room. I would have said that. What are you gonna put Heelys on him? Heelys weren't even invented back then. But like, how are you gonna make it? How are you gonna make it? He's a project. The dude can't even move.
George Murison was better than him.
George was better.
Great movie star, Big George.
and ate Sean Bradley's lunch. It was like a combo. Movie star and Sean's lunch.
Old Jorge Murison. And who was the other big? Oh, Manu Pol, of course. Manu Pol was definitely better than him.
Yeah, Manu was better than him.
Yeah, Manu killed a lion with his bare hands or with a spear.
And he could spot up from 40.
Yeah. He was like Dame from the logo before Dame from the logo.
Yeah, that's the craziest. I think the craziest game in NBA history is the game where it wasn't a Sixer at the time, but he was a bullet. I think he hit 8 threes. 8 or 9 threes. 7'5", dude's just jacking threes. Like,
you're pulling up back here.
How are we supposed to guard this guy?
You can't get a hand in the face because it's coming from back here.
Exactly. Until Doc Rivers got here, he was probably JoJo's like childhood idol. He was like, dude, that's where he got it from. He's like, dude, Manute used to pull from from half court. I got to do that.
The logo, yeah.
The best about Manute is he didn't shoot him a lot, but if he made one early, he's going to shoot 7.
Oh yeah,
that's how that went.
And he was going to let you know about it.
Feeling it tonight.
Guy couldn't get wet in the shower. I mean, it was unbelievable.
That's a true story, by the way, or at least they claim it's a true story that he killed a lion with a spear when he was young. Yeah, Manute. Yeah, it's like, look it up. I'm telling you, that's what they say. There's like an interview with Shaq about him where he's like, "Hey, kid, me, that guy killed a lion with a spear. I ain't fucking with him."
I guess that's where Joe got that from too. Joe made it clear that he's killed a lion with his bare hands. Joe tried saying bare hands, or he said he fought lions. He tried pulling that move out. That's funny.
But it was his idol.
Getting handsy with a lion. All right.
That's an aggressive move.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest using the spear either, but I definitely don't go hands with one.
That's a little close. I'd have to be on top of a rooftop, with an absolute scoop. Hey, I'm good up here. I know with a spear, I'm going to hit him in the leg and just piss him off. And he slowly, he's just going to eat like one finger at a time. I'll be like, you shitting me, Lion? Simba, are you shitting me? Just eat me.
He just bites one leg off. Watch it crawl around.
Look at this guy trying to get away. Idiot.
Oh, Isaiah Joe.
Yeah, I would imagine that the 12th man is in, and we're up 100. Lobby time.
Yeah, the bench is emptied,
Yes.
as they like to say. And this was like playing a game on 2K. This was an easy one tonight. It makes the uniforms look even worse. That's it. Oh, Paul Reed.
Paul Reed.
Corky 4 for 4. Made Greg's whole night. Guy shot a 98 today. Corky went 4 for 4 from 3. Wow. Just a good night for you, Greg. Good night for you, buddy.
And I got ice cream in the freezer.
I wouldn't even doubt the ice cream.
You got ice cream in the freezer.
Wasn't even doubting the ice cream part and the BBQ probably there right next to you.
Guy went and picked himself up a treat for a good day on the greens.
We know it's not frozen yogurt.
2 gallons of ice cream and shot a 98. It's good. That's good.
Down some ice cream. Uh-oh. Now everybody's gonna be saying Paul Reed needs to be up with the team after that bucket. Here we go. Watch. I got listen. 3, 2, 1. Yeah,
Chris Coleman.
That post is coming tonight because he's had a great G-Leaguer. Did a great G-League season.
Yep, we know Coleman's going to be like, oh, did you see him, dude? What a shot that was. That was beautiful.
Did they win the G League championship?
Is the G League already over?
Yeah, they were in the championship Friday.
Are they?
Not that I care at all about it, but I know they were. I saw
right
it.
there. Wow.
Well, you're asking a question, so I'm guessing you care.
Well, I'm wondering if they won.
Player development.
You're pot committed. You're pot committed. Somebody find out.
Only because I saw A2D Radio tweeted before our Twitter account was suspended that the Delaware Bluecoats had made the final, and I was like, I didn't even know that they were still playing the G League. I had no idea. They lost.
They lost.
Grim Reaper.
Can't even cut those nets now. You know what I mean? Oh, this is just
We lost to the Magic. The Lakeland Magic.
fitting.
Oh, Lakeland.
Yeah, we continue to lose to the Magic. We continue to lose to the Magic on and off the court.
No matter where we play them, they shoot the lights out. Is now Maxie hurt too? He come down a little weird. Here we go. Yeah, Bluecoats got dominated by
Real good game for Tobias.
Yeah, they didn't have to play the whole fourth quarter. So, or at least most of it. Doc, let everybody know where they can find you and what you got going on.
Yeah, you got it.
I don't know.
You can find us right there, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. We got offices in Cherry Hill and Burlington, New Jersey. Actually, this Sunday, the 21st through the 27th, it's basically a week, starting spring, we are doing our virtual 5K. It's a nice way to kind of like get out of winter, get people moving, whether you walk, run, crawl, ride a bike, driving a car for 3.2 miles, it doesn't matter. It's a 5K. We're raising money, all proceeds. So any registration fee or larger donations, which comes with a prize, all proceeds go to Community SJP, which is a organization, nonprofit that helps families in need. So whether they need basic stuff, for day-to-day living, things like that, clothing, stuff like that. So we're going to be supporting them, and hopefully every year we're going to be doing that and just kind of helping, giving back to the community. So we're going to try to. I'll let you guys know. We're trying to get maybe a group of people to gather at Cooper River Park and do it there. So and try to get a bunch of people there. So if we get that organized, we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, for sure.
Give me the cap to you, Doc. Great stuff.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. All right, Doc. We appreciate talking to you again. and we'll talk to you again the next coming weeks for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we're talking about Joe coming back. In a couple weeks.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. Hopefully, stay on good news. Good news with the knee.
I mean, I think before we lose you here, Doc, I know. I guess we got to say that that's probably the best case scenario with what happened, right? With how he landed, you would think.
Oh yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah. You look at that. I mean, gosh, even the hyperextension, you could tear a hamstring, calf muscle right behind the knee. I mean, there was a whole bunch of things can go on. So the fact that it wasn't a soft tissue and more of a bone, although and not a fracture. I mean, I think that the best thing happened out of that. Obviously you don't want him to get injured, but
yeah, hey, looks like the prayer worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone's asking where in Burlington. That's 11 Cadillac Road in Burlington, by the way. I see that popping up. So if anybody's in Burlington, we're in the dead end of Cadillac Drive or Road. It's right across from where the Walmart is. Right off the pike, So 11 Cadillac Road.
You got that, Johnny?
We'll throw that up for you. 11 Cadillac.
Thanks, Doc.
All right, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Doc. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Doc.
See you, Doc. Thanks, buddy.
John, I hope you got that. 11 Cadillac Drive, right?
That Road Drive.
I
I think he said drive or I mean, it's one of the two.
Look it up. You can go right on specializedphysicaltherapy.com just to confirm. Nobody likes the wrong directions. You know what I mean? Nobody likes putting the wrong thing in their GPS nowadays. It's always that's a pain in the dick. Nobody enjoys that one.
Yep. No one likes dick.
Cadillac Road.
What'd you say, Greg?
Cadillac Road.
Oh
my Lord.
Evan Fournier just said, oh, wow. Have a seat.
Oh, Drew Eubanks. Yeah. Guess what? There's he can wear those shoes now. Boyer. Maybe go back to the G-League.
Yep. And blow your hands like your hands are cold from that block. Yeah, see him blow his hands afterwards. You got cold paws. You don't got cold paws, bro. You got Sprite commercials by hand. Okay? Calm down.
Oh, my Lord.
I got an excuse. Everybody got a goddamn excuse. All right, boys. Crumbs.
Oh.
Yeah, I kind of went through my earlier, so I mean, I'll turn them over to you guys. It was Madison. Tommy might have been away. Madison Square Garden security guy, and Mark. Shut your mouth, Turgeon. I love it. But there were two guys that fall in my play. The security guy. You just can't miss a 7-footer. Whether you know who Patrick Ewing is or not, you can't miss him. He's in the right spot. It wasn't like he was out on. It wasn't like he was trying to sneak on an Augusta. Like, hey,
We could have this guy here.
Yeah, 7'2" here. He doesn't. He doesn't have a golf cart now. Like he's he's in the garden, dude.
Frosties.
His team's playing later on. Let's go.
Frosty Gate. It's got a Frosty. Frosty. All Sixers. Missed 2 in a row. 2 in a row from the line. Yeah, 2 good ones for sure. What do you guys got?
So my Crumb, and I'm going to preface this Crumb by saying I'm not overreacting. He's not going anywhere. It's okay to be critical. Before
I know where you're going.
Before all of Flyers Twitter, Flyers Facebook comes all flying at me, Carter Hart and the Philadelphia Flyers. Carter Hart, I understand. Got a lot going on. You're not playing very well. I get it. But you stink right now. Flat out stinks. And needs to turn it around. Again, he's not going anywhere. I haven't lost faith in the kid. He's still 22. But it's okay to be critical and call the kid out when he's been playing like this.
I 100% agree. Like there's certain guys can't be and certain guys can be in this city. Seems like. You know what I mean? Yeah. Double standards.
He's definitely not been playing well.
No.
Not even close.
And neither has the defense, but he hasn't been playing well either. So
bail your defense out one time, right?
great goalies are supposed to, right?
Yeah. I get it. You're young. Bail him out once. Like, find a nut one time this year. Goodness gracious. You struggled. And that's being nice.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Struggled
First off,
is
it's
being nice.
Very nice. I think he has the worst goals against average in the league, right? Pretty sure.
Yeah.
He might.
From
Pretty
watching
sure he does.
It seems like he does.
Not he's second.
Wow.
Eubanks
really took the sneaker comment that I made to heart.
Wow. He just took $1 bill off the backboard on that one.
Dude's jumping out the gym. Maybe I got to get them sneakers myself. What was that, Tom?
Get yourself some hops for sure.
I thought you said he's going to do the opposite. I was going to say, I recall beating you in basketball before.
No, I wasn't. My eyes aren't open enough to take jabs right now.
Am I echoing?
I felt like I was a couple times. I didn't know if it was.
Yeah, I've had a few echoes, I think.
Yep.
Echo 1-9er.
What's your Cromwell?
I'm not going to give one. I'm happy Syracuse made the tournament, and I'm pumped because it's my favorite time of year. So I'm just gonna go an anti-crumb, and I'm gonna actually tip my cap to the NCAA tournament here because we were very skeptical as to whether they were going to make it to the tournament, and they have. And I know there's been some hiccups, obviously, but they seem to be doing a good job with keeping everybody away from each other. They have like monitors on all the players so they can see who they come in close contact with in case anyone does test positive. So, I guess they're doing it the best way they possibly can, and I think we're all excited for the tournament to start. So they've got us here. So for me, that's an anti-crumb from them.
Good anti-crumb.
Yeah, absolutely. Anti-dentite.
I feel like it was anticlimactic right there. Like,
well, it's not there yet, Greg. So next thing you know, 4 teams out in a week.
You're setting up an anti-crumb. Like you were just like,
yeah.
I don't got it.
He would have went with the committee if Syracuse didn't get in. So I think he was sitting on that.
Absolutely.
He was sitting on that.
You should have seen me in here cursing up a storm that they weren't going to get in. I saw Drake and I saw Utah State, and I was like, we're not going to get in. We're not going to get in. It's fucking unreal.
Yeah.
I got Glenn in the other room. They're fine. I'm like, we're not getting it. And then we got in. We're not even in the first 4. I love it. And Michigan State, I meant to say this earlier, but Michigan State, I know a lot of people are bitching right now.
Sixers win.
I'm sure Ralph Delavecchio is one of them that they have to play in the first 4. Well, let me let you know. Let me give you a little info here, Ralph. This is only the second time in history a team has made the tournament with an under 500 conference record. So you should just be thanking the fucking high heavens you got in.
Absolutely. This would have been a year. We know it's, unprecedented times. But this would have been a year. No Duke, no Kentucky, which they're already them two aren't, and no Michigan State. So Michigan State, snuck in for whatever it's worth.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, Michigan State is dangerous, though. I will say that. They have a good chance to beat UCLA, and I wouldn't put it past them to beat the 6th seed that they play. I'm not sure who it is, but I wouldn't put it past them.
I don't know who it is on that side.
BYU.
Okay. BYU's tough, but again, it's another team that's like Gonzaga. The only 2 tough games they really play all year are Gonzaga. So
when you're well coached, I'll take Izzo against anybody. You know what I mean? So I'm with you. You know what I mean? Obviously, sometimes you show up with a water pistol, to an AK fight, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't have the players. You know what I mean? But I'll take Izzo.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. My crumb's going to be the other Jeffrey Lurie shit and Howie Roseman shit we heard this week about. Some of the shit Howie Roseman said to Lane Johnson. Some of them things coming out, which were a little weird, and then the Jeffrey Lurie not happy after the Green Bay win 2 years ago when we ran the football a ton. and didn't want us running the ball that much. Like, is that real life? Like, is that really happening? Like, is that true? Like, that was really written.
Was that really said?
According to Jeff McClain, it was said. Take it for what it is. I don't know. You know what I mean? That's why it's like Crumbs.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
I don't understand.
I would personally.
And then
I was Doug. I'd personally tell him, "Shut the fuck up." How's that sound?
He may have.
See, now I'm starting to turn on Doug. Now I'm starting to think maybe Doug shouldn't have been fired. Oh, Tom, this is what you do to me.
I said the same thing the other day, and I was done with the whole thing. Like, I moved on from Doug. Like, it's Sirianni time. Let's see what we got. I moved on, and then this pulls me right back in. Everybody blamed him for not running the ball. Okay, now we know who. Now we're playing. Now it's the owner. So now we're going to throw the ball 50 times with Jalen Hurts. We're going to throw the football 50 times with Jalen Hurts.
We kept the quarterback that can't throw.
What are we doing? We want to be the greatest show on turf and fucking air it out. All right. We only play on turf.
Somebody on our Facebook page today predicted that he would have 30 touchdown passes, less than 10 interceptions, 10 touchdown rushes, and throw for 4,000 yards.
Yeah, and we could say his name, but we'll just leave it.
Yeah.
What crack are they
say
smoking?
His initials are Dylan Saxton. Fucking moron.
Yeah, it's great. Then somebody said, and then he didn't understand when somebody said, "Oh, so the Eagles are going to have the best offense in the league?" And he was like, "That question doesn't make any sense." And like, I think me and Tom and several others laughed at it. It was tremendous.
If you go by your stats there, then we have the best offense in the league.
Yeah. I understand why you're
Travis Fulgham with over 1,000. He's got Miles with 1,200 rushing and 600 receiving.
Why are you trying to clown that guy's comment when, in essence, it would be spot on?
The greatest quarterback in the league, like a top 5 quarterback with those numbers, right? Like,
it's almost MVP. 45 touchdowns, 4 and less than 10 picks. I mean, you're knocking on MVP door.
He'll have a knee injury.
Great,
right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Carson Wentz MVP, knee injury. Joel Embiid MVP, knee injury.
Oh Lord, here he goes.
This guy. This guy knows how to fucking take the air out of him. This guy knows how to fucking suck the air right out of him.
This guy will fuck up a titty bar.
My goodness gracious. Got any nuggets? No dip? I fucking suck the air right out of the room. Got 20 nuggets here, no dip. I'm getting fucking sucks the life right out of you.
Rygate.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, Wells, cheers to getting in, buddy. Here we go.
Fucking A.
Cheers to the boys getting in.
Fucking A.
That'll be one and done.
Let's calm down.
Look at this guy. Look at this fucking asshole. You're not going to fucking ruin this. You're not going to fucking ruin this.
If you know anything, listen, they could be. They could be. They're obviously going to be underdogs. But if you know anything, Tom,
here we go.
We're a tough out in the tournament because we play a different defense than everybody, so we're always a tough out.
Well, just save it, Will.
You played for the last how many years?
This guy's going to pick San Diego State to make the Final Four just to be that fucking guy. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. Leave him alone.
He's a fucking crumb anyway.
I'm happy he got it. All right.
Listen, he likes to say this stuff on air. Then he'll personally text me like, "Really pumped for Cuse to get in." That's the kind of guy that you're dealing with.
Exposed gate. Mike, I change it. I do now. I have a crumb. Tom Arnone. That's my crumb. And I don't need to elaborate. That's it.
Screenshot that text.
I can go back and find one, I'm sure.
I wished you luck in the past. Not wishing.
Here we go.
Well, you're not one and done.
Don't lie. Don't lie to people. You're like a 0.25% Syracuse fan. Or 25%, I meant to say. You're like 25%.
Yeah, because of you guys. You know what I mean? I don't have a college basketball team. I just we
need to get you up to like 70%. Can we hop you up to 70? I'll tell you what, I'm going to buy some Syracuse shit for cash. That's what's going to happen. That's what's happening.
Well, he's a free agent, so you know what I mean.
Gotta get him while they're young. I know I do it.
He's for sure a free agent.
We have our best recruit since Carmelo coming in next year. So
I will jump at the 70. Here I come.
And I'll tell you what, the one thing I do love about this season, I don't know if everyone knows this, but so this season doesn't technically count for anyone this season, like anybody could be a junior this year. They're still a junior next year if they want to be. I mean, you don't have to be. You can still leave at any time, obviously. But this season, everyone is like it's like a red shirt for everybody. So, and one good thing is that our best shooter is the coach's son. He probably doesn't have a very good future in the NBA, so he's probably going to stay another 2 more after this. So, big fans of that.
Yeah, you almost had to do that. I mean, because they pretty much got through.
Because a lot of guys missed time. And
they got through. Yeah, well, last year they got through a whole season, and they lost their tournament. And then this year's been up and down. You lose 2 weeks, so you almost had to do that. With the other spring sports, they gave everybody a year back. You know what I mean? So you almost had to do the right thing for basketball as well.
Yeah, I like it. Now it's not going to affect the guys that are just going to go to the NBA. Obviously, they're going to go to the NBA anyway. But the guys that are like maybe seniors this year that don't have a future in the NBA, they can. If you have a favorite team, they can stay. They can stay and play again next year if they wanted to.
Yeah,
it's the best time of your life, buddy.
I don't know. Why wouldn't you? I love these guys. Like, maybe I'll go in the workforce. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like DelGozzo, Dolly. I love Dolly. Great player for us. He's a senior, and they said in the beginning of the season he was like, "Oh, I'm going to graduate and then go on to life." But they said now he's 50-50 about coming back. Why wouldn't you come back? What's wrong with you? Your job will be there in a year, dude. Come back and enjoy, and especially because they probably haven't really enjoyed campus life for like a year and a half now. You figure maybe next year the campus life will be a little more extravagant.
Yeah, they're probably the only ones on campus.
Yeah, and they haven't even been really, because they do everything on fucking Zoom.
Yeah. All right, boys. Great show.
Yeah,
like
great
always. Thank our doc. Make him yours. Dr. Paul Videl, Specialized Physical Therapy LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. For Tom Arnone, Nick DelGozzo, Brian Wilson, Greg MIlakovic. We love you.
Look forward to Willie Vegas bracketology all week.
Oh boy.
What else? Right coming your way, fam. Serving else.
Everyone's a fucking comedian.
Hell's coming. We